up with a nice cup of morning roast.
Oh, yeah.
Featuring Bonte Hill and Joe Shasky.
Well, I'm about that action, boss.
Take him out! This is the morning roast on 95.7 The Game.
Oh, baby. Shasky, last night I stayed up till about 11:40. Don't know why. Well, I know why. I was watching Panthers, Cardinals, watching the Niners game back over.
I'm
doing
know
all
why.
my prep.
Immediately, you know what? I do know why.
I do know why.
I'm sorry, I'm not sorry.
I'm sorry, not sorry. But around, 6:30, 7 o'clock, we get the alert about Draymond Green. Getting into an altercation with Jordan Poole. And I said, well, so much about talking about Nick Bosa today. So much to talk about the Carolina Panthers, or recapping the Giants season where they finished 500 for the first time in franchise history, going 81-81. You get Draymond Green in the news again, and this time it's with Jordan Poole. So this is what we're going to do, Shasky. We're going to throw the number out there, 888-957-9570. We're going to get everybody involved in here. Everybody's involved. Comcast Business Text Line, YouTube, Twitch, you name it. I have questions. You have questions. We're searching for answers. What does it mean long-term? What does it mean short-term? So basically, Anthony Slater, Shams Charania, and Marcus Thompson. And they're all over it. All over it. Basically tweeted out that, hey, there was a physical altercation at practice yesterday, with Draymond Green reportedly facing some type of discipline from the Golden State Warriors. He punched Jordan Poole after they got into a heated argument, back and forth. Poole says something, Draymond says something, Poole shoves him, Draymond clocks him. Basically how it went down. Practice had to be halted. Both guys were steamed. Everybody's steamed, right? It's natural. But then Draymond Green was very apologetic in the aftermath, according to sources. But there was a buildup, apparently, built up between Poole and Green, who have had a history, apparently. And we're going to talk to Anthony Slater at 8 o'clock to try to figure out everything. All this is apparently hypotheticals. We really don't know what went on, with the exception of Draymond punching Jordan Poole. So, Shasky, I'm going to ask you, as we get this started, what was your initial thoughts? Where's your head right now? How you feeling about the entire situation?
Okay, full disclosure here, all right? Bear with me. I'm going to get you the whole thing. This is where I was when I found out. I was going to Dick's Sporting Goods to go get a new pair of cleats.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Did you talk to the doctor from yesterday?
Well, I basically narrowed it down to, Joe, you need to go at least try another pair of cleats to see if it works, because I had a game last night.
Oh,
so I don't get great reception when it comes to Wi-Fi inside the ceremony Dick's. So I went into Dick's. I got a pair of turf shoes. I got a pair of cleats. I was going to try them out. You get 90 days. You can bring them back, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I come out with 2 boxes of cleats, and all of a sudden my phone, like a slot machine. I mean, just everything. And I looked down, and I was like, the content that we are going to be discussing regarding this team is unbelievable. They're supposed to be getting ready for a championship run.
Yeah, I mean,
repeat championship run.
He's got back from Japan.
I mean, Clay hasn't played a lick. I mean, there's a million different questions. What does the Jordan Poole extension looks like? And then Draymond Green and Jordan Poole, something happened here. So, okay, here's what I found interesting. The whole incident, and we're going to break down the incident. To me, as just a fan, I'm not a journalist or anything like that. I'm trying to find out what happened through the reports of the media.
Right.
And so it's leaking like a little faucet, and you get a little nuggy nug here and a little nuggy nug there. And now that I'm a little more discerning, I start realizing, like, some people have specific agendas based on their affiliation of who they roll with and how they get their information. And this might be a little too insider for some people, but like Adrian, I was saying this to Joseph, Adrian Wojnarowski, CAA. He gets all his information from CAA. CAA runs the Knicks, for example. All right, they represent players, they represent coaches, guys on the training staff, media members, right? Everything flows through CAA, and they give it to Wojnarowski. That's how he has all these different, contacts and sources. When I saw the Chris Haynes report after Shams, after Marcus Thompson, after Anthony Slater, I said, oh boy, here we go. It's the spin cycle. I don't know what to believe. I wasn't at practice. I'm sure both guys said things that were dumb. I'm sure both guys did something to the other that was stupid. And I'm sure that Jordan Poole must have said something that triggered Draymond Green, and knowing Draymond Green's backstory, he's a habitual line stepper,
Right.
and I'm sure he stepped right over that line.
At some point today, I do want to do a wrong answers only segment. And what I mean by that is, what did Jordan Poole and Draymond say to each other?
Oh.
And I want wrong answers only. Wrong answers only. And the best wrong answer, I will personally send you a case of body armor.
Well,
wrong answers only. 888-957-9570. So again, what happened, Shasky? There was a physical altercation at the Warriors practice Wednesday morning that the team and they're seriously considering to discipline Draymond Green. Whether that's a fine, whether that's a suspension, who knows? But when a heated interaction with guard Jordan Poole escalated, Green forcefully struck Poole and needed to be separated swiftly, sources said. Green and Poole came chest to chest, with both players pushing and shoving each other prior to Green's escalation of the physical altercation. The Warriors stopped practice, tried to settle the nerves in the team's locker room area, but it appears that internal discipline is imminent. Poole and Green are known to regularly get into verbal arguments, but the team's management and leadership believes a line was crossed. So we'll know a little more today. We'll know more from Anthony Slater. So that's your why. But both guys are talking back and forth.
Okay, you and I have played in many different levels of sports and have been around high-level sports long enough to realize it's crazy. Okay, it's not a normal work setting. Guys are going to get in each other's faces, all right? They're going to say things that they regret immediately in the heat of the moment. They might do things that they regret. And at the end of the day, does the infrastructure in place, the relationships in place, can they be amicable moving forward? Right? That's the number one thing that I'm thinking about here.
Short term, I don't think it'll have an effect on the Golden State Warriors.
Right?
I'll say that right off the rip. Long term, who knows what's going to happen with Draymond's contract?
Well,
who knows what happened with Jordan Poole? Something we'll get into. But let's just keep it short term. Short term, do I think this will have any ramifications on the season? No, I don't. Short term, but it's something to monitor.
Absolutely, and it could fester. It could also propel them. Right, that's another element. I don't know what it's going to end up doing. What did he do? That's the facts that we need to know.
What did he say? What did he do?
Well, what did Jordan say? We have no idea. What I don't think is fair, and this is just where I was going at with the media coverage, when I saw the Chris Haynes tweet, I don't know if you have it up there.
Yes, I have the paper here. Here, I'll read the Chris Haynes tweet.
Please read the Chris, because this came out maybe 20 to 30 minutes after?
Maybe 30 to 45 minutes after, right? So
I want to make sure the timeline's right.
Anthony Slater, here, I'll get the Anthony Slater tweet. Anthony Slater tweeted at 5:59 p.m.
Okay.
6 o'clock. I was in the room with Baby Chaz coloring some books. At 5:59, I was like, oh, boy.
Dick's.
And you're at Dick's.
Yeah.
So Slater tweeted at 5:59 p.m. last night. Sources, there was a physical altercation at Warriors practice, and Draymond Green will probably be disciplined. All right? Paraphrasing there.
Yeah.
Chris Haynes, 8:54 p.m. Yahoo sources. Draymond Green and Jordan Poole have a history, but no players for the Golden State Warriors felt the incident was warranted. Some form of disciplinary action is expected. Now, an hour before that, Chris Haynes tweeted at 7:20. An hour, 80 minutes after Slater tweeted his initial tweet about the altercation. Draymond Green was apologetic. Again, this is from Chris Haynes.
Yeah.
Draymond Green was apologetic in the aftermath of the altercation with Jordan Poole. But there was a buildup stemming from teammates noticing a change in Poole's behavior throughout camp, with the guard on the verge of securing a lucrative extension, according to Yahoo Sports.
Okay.
So we got Vincent Goodwill. We got a report from him. We got all these reports. Let me say this about Poole first.
Well, yeah, because I thought it was an unfair the little line at the end was very unfair.
It was a shot.
Yes,
it was a shot. And Andre Iguodala last night came out 9 hours ago and said, "What we not going to do is talk crazy about my young fella JP. Great character kid. Missed me with all the other BS. Straight from the source." That's Andre Iguodala basically dunking on Chris Haynes' report. And let me say this about Poole. We've talked to Poole. We've talked to him about TV. We've talked to him at the station.
Yeah.
I hear nothing but great things about Jordan Poole. My interactions with Jordan Poole, we're just at Media Day, and you're talking about his European trip.
You sent me a video.
Right, sent you a video. The guy is fun. Is he a little cocky or arrogant? Don't you have to be at that level?
Well,
Don't you have to be on the team with Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green to say, hey, I can ball too. I belong here with the top dogs. I have no problem with the cockiness and arrogance, and he's a youngster. But does the kid work? He's in the gym first. He's in the gym last. He's putting up shots left and right. He's a basketball junkie.
And then just look at his resume in terms of being a teammate. Yes, him and Dre got into it in a huddle once, but like in terms of his role on the team, when has he ever said anything outward of I need to start, I need more minutes, I shouldn't be in the G League?
This guy went to a top flight high school program. Goes to Michigan, doesn't start a game his freshman year. They go to the Final Four, and he's as happy as can be.
Well, I just think it's really unfair.
It is unfair to just label him and say, "Oh, he wants to have the ball.
Well,
he wants to start and be the star."
Well,
how do people know that?
Well, it's. I just think it's so unfair. Yeah, about him and the money and him being, having changed and all those things. Even if that's true, even if it is true
Right.
on some level, is that a fact?
No, it's not a
you
fact.
can report that in a tweet? Is that a fact? I don't know. It was very odd. I just thought it was a side swipe on Poole that was so unnecessary from Chris Haynes, and I personally thought it was out of bounds. Second part of this is regarding Poole's demeanor.
Yeah.
You were talking about cocky and arrogant. See, I don't view. Yes, I believe he is.
I mean,
I think you could read him and feel arrogance. I think he's just eccentric.
Dude,
I think he's a little different.
Thank you.
I think he's a little different. I think he's a little more introverted.
Yep.
I think he's very artistic.
Yep.
To me, he reminds me of a lot of young kids that I know in that same age bracket where they're not an extrovert. They're very into their fashion and into themselves. And I think other people perceive it as cockiness and arrogance.
No doubt.
When I just think that's just who they are.
And what I meant by
cocky, he is that.
Yeah, what I meant by cockiness. Yeah, what I meant by cockiness and arrogance is on the floor. Like the way he moves.
He plays with the swagger.
He plays with that swagger, and I like that swagger. You need that swagger. You need that belief in yourself. Jordan was cocky and arrogant. He's the greatest player of all time. So when it comes
22?
He's 24 years old.
24. Okay.
No, excuse me. 23 years old.
He's 23.
He just turned 23 June 19th.
23.
23. And so when you talk about eccentric, I think that's a perfect word for Jordan Poole.
That's why I would
just look at
file
how he
him.
rolls with his photographer, Jay, Reardon High School Stand Up. They go to Europe. He does his thing. When he came on the TV set after he was done with our interview, it was really fun, really good. Bully was like, man, this guy's impressive.
Yeah.
And after the interview, he's like, right on, guys, thank you so much, man. He slaps me in the chest. He goes, Bully, I was playing video games the other day, and you helped me with the NBA Finals, man. We unlocked you. This kid is just a basketball junkie.
But that doesn't mean he didn't say something to trigger Draymond.
But
So
you know
I
what?
want to be fair there.
But you know what? I like that about Jordan Poole.
No,
Draymond Green has been talking crazy. Draymond Green's been talking crazy to everybody.
Well,
so we'll get to Draymond Green in a second.
I want to get this is the main question.
Why did Draymond react the way he reacted as a team leader? Why? There's a bunch of whys. There's a lot of theories here. Money, contract, pecking order, whatnot. But Jordan Poole, I like that about him. He's no punk. And he's been barking back at Draymond Green from day one. From day one. That what makes, is he not supposed to, oh man, I can't carry myself a certain way. I got to watch how I walk into the gym. Draymond Green's over there. I like the fact that Jordan Poole stands up for himself. That's fine. And I think Draymond Green, on some level, respects that.
Well, and as the team starts to transition to try to get a little younger and try to hand some of these batons over to some of these younger players and empower them with not just the contract, but bigger roles on the team, there's going to be friction, Bonte.
Yep.
Like that. I believe I believe in creative tension. I do. That's something that I believe in. If you ain't rattling cages here and there, you ain't working. Here's the question with Draymond, and it's always been the question, and it will continue to be the question. Whether it's Romanowski, Charles Haley, Dennis Rodman, when does the BS outweigh the talent?
I know.
And I don't have the answer for that. And I think that this is why you employ someone like Steve Kerr and Bob Myers, and this is why Joe Lacob is the top dog, because they have to assess their own situation, talk to the other leaders on that team, and they got to figure out, when is enough enough? It might not be this situation. It might be a year from now or 3 years from now, or maybe they just roll them forever. I have a belief, and you and I have talked about this. I've said this for about 4 years. Whenever this Draymond Warrior thing ends,
it's not going to be pretty.
It's going to be so ugly. You know it is. He's going to go out guns blazing. Like, we just know it. And then maybe one day down the line,
he'll get his statue. He'll get his jersey retired.
Legend.
He's an all-time warrior.
But to think that this divorce is going to be amicable at some point,
doesn't feel like it is.
I mean,
it doesn't feel like it is.
And maybe look, maybe they're all can play nice and they can get back on track and they can win a championship, and we'll be laughing about this down the line. I just think the whole thing, there's a lot going on here, man.
I have a lot of questions. I was up till, again, I told you, I was up till 11:30, 11:45, just like mind spinning, right? Spinning out of control. writing down all this stuff on the legal pad. You got the Slater tweet. You have Haynes report. I'm going to take Haynes' report with a grain of salt. I didn't like the way that was worded at all.
It was a side swipe.
Just saying, hey, Jordan Poole's acted differently. Just saw him at media day. Watched his whole interaction. Talked to people who are in Tokyo, Japan. The guy's been acting the same. He's acted the same. He's a fun kid. You brought up the perfect word, eccentric. This guy's just, he's living life, man. He's 23 years old in the NBA as a champion. I love the kid. He's a good kid. But with Draymond Green, and I wonder how this affects Jordan Poole coming off of all the history. We don't need to go back down the line with Kevin Durant, Steve Kerr, guys yelling out. One, I want to know what Steph Curry thinks. I want to know what Steph Curry thinks.
That might be the most important.
I want to know what Steph Curry thinks about this.
That might be the most important.
I know what Iguodala thinks. What does Steph think about this?
What do you think, Iguodala? Because he had two different tweets. Okay, Iguodala. And by the way, this is why he's a player, getting paid, even the minimum. Because I think his impact on a situation like this doesn't hit the same when he's part of quote-unquote management as a coach. I've told you about this. Like, this is why Adonis Haslam is getting paid as a player and not a coach, so that the players can understand that he's in the grind with them. Was your impression Iguodala was defending Poole while also trying to show respect to Draymond?
Yeah, he was like, his family business with my bro Draymond Green, and it was smart to reply to that tweet with that tweet about Draymond before people could say, oh, he tweeted about Poole, he didn't tweet about Draymond. You know how people try to look between the lines.
Right.
So,
you're so right.
Saying, hey,
That's
JP's my fella. Remember last postseason, Jordan Poole was talking about Iguodala, and Iguodala was talking about Jordan Poole. And this was before practice of Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Dalton Johnson, NBC Sports Bay Area, Air Warriors beat reporter, tweeted this out last night, which I found very interesting. Wherever Andre Iguodala goes, Jordan Poole goes. The two are together during drills and in line in between. There's deep conversations and lighthearted jokes. And they asked Jordan Poole, is that your veteran? He goes, yeah, definitely. That's my guy, Andre Iguodala. And then Iguodala's like, look, we're just making sure we're on the same page. Part of being a great player isn't just about how you play, but how you help others play to the best of their abilities. So Iguodala's been that guy on Jordan Poole's shoulder throughout the entire process. And remember, early last year, he was saying, hey, JP, I know you got 30, but you didn't get to the free throw line.
Yeah.
So JP and Iguodala have that connection, which is cool, which is needed in this situation.
Well, yeah, you need a mentor. And the other thing that I don't know, like, we're going to assess the relationship between Jordan Poole and Draymond Green
all season long.
Yeah, but also, like, I don't know how fair that is. I mean, clearly when you do this, you're going to do it.
It's going to be there.
Yeah, I know. But be like, how many times have you and me kind of yelled at each other?
All the time.
And then we come back around and like we're totally fine, 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later.
It happens all the time.
You and Sam Lebron were screaming about Tyler Rogers. I thought the two of you were going to choke each other out like The Simpsons.
Why do you always think I'm choking
and then
somebody
at 6'11", you're laughing and making fun of him, and he's laughing too. Yeah. So I don't know if their relationship will allow for that. Well, some won't. Like Kevin Durant clearly, for example, holds grudges. Right? I don't know if JP and Draymond can move forward. Maybe they can.
Well, they had to stop practice. That we do know. They had to stop practice, and Anthony Slater's going to join us at 8 o'clock to break this down. He was the one who was on the story first, alongside Marcus Thompson and Shams Charania, but Slater was there, so we're going to have him on the roast at 8 o'clock. A couple questions that popped into my head. What if you're Jordan Poole's agent, right? And this is a big-time hypothetical, but I was just thinking about this last night.
Hypothetical.
What if his agent is like, look, man, hey, Bob, we want to get paid. We want to be a Golden State Warrior. But Jordan Poole's tired of this. Like, what if the agent calls Bob and says, hey, man, you got to pick one, Draymond or Poole? Because we can't do this anymore with Draymond Green. Like, he struck him. He tried to knock his lights out. You know what I'm saying? He went Mike Tyson on Jordan Poole. It's just, those are the facts. Try to knock him out.
I broke my back.
Does JP forgive him for that? Maybe. But down the line, long term, what type of ramifications will this have? I just, that's the question that keeps popping in my head as well.
So are you asking me Draymond or Poole right now?
Some people are going to look at it like that. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to divide it. Nobody's trying to divide it. But at some point, this organization, because we're going to play some sound from Bobby Marks, we know Wiggins, Poole are up for contracts. Draymond Green wants an extension. He's not getting it right now. He's got a player option for $27 million. At some point, this organization is going to come to a crossroads and say, do we go full youth movement, move on from one of the veterans, and commit the Poole, commit the Wiggins? Because if I'm looking at the team right now, I'm saying to myself, I can't lose Wiggins.
What would Popovich do? What would Belichick do? What would Bill Walsh do?
Man.
I'm asking you.
They may cut the veteran.
The rule
They
is
may move
always
the veteran.
I'd rather move off the veteran 1 year too early than hang on to him 1 year too late.
So, yeah, we got a lot of questions. We're going to get to the lines. Dorian and Nick, we'll get to you in a second.
This is what Warrior fans need to come to grips with. The big three are not going to be Warrior lifers forever, and we've been saying it forever. At some point, it's okay. Ronnie Lott played for 3 other teams. Jerry Rice played for 3 other teams. Joe Montana played for another team. Mullen played for another team.
Right.
He's still one of the greatest Warriors of all time. How many teams did Rick Barry play for?
I know.
4?
I know. The Rockets, he moved around for a bit. Was going to play for the Celtics. So, anyway, we're going to get all into this. 888-957-9570. What does it mean to you? And we're going to play a game, wrong answers only. What did Poole and Draymond say to each other? Wrong answers only. The best wrong answer gets a free case of Body Armor by your boy.
Draymond, I steal all my content from my podcast from the Morning Roast.
Oh, boy.
Jordan Poole, no, you don't.
That's coming up. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Mr. Quick with BetQL. The most surprising team in all of college football this year just might be the Kansas Jayhawks. They've gone out to a 5-0 start this year when their season win total was 2.5. This team can score, baby. Having gone over the total in 4 of their last 6. They play 17th ranked TCU this weekend, who has gone over in 4 of their last 5. You know what that means. Shootout, baby. Hammer that over 68.5. I'm Trista Crick, helping you beat the books.
For Butch's Coffee. For EJ's Sandwich Shop. For Springfield Family Dental.
Every day, Staples helps every kind of small business create bold signs that sing. And now get $10 off custom signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. Ends 12/31. Visit staplesconnect.com/thisisyoursign for details.
Charging a cell phone can be like getting a booster shot. A booster is given to enhance or restore protection after a primary series vaccination, which wanes over time. Schedule an appointment when you are eligible. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you might be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help you too. Just go to getrefunds.com/sports, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to getrefunds.com/sports. That's getrefunds.com/sports.
At Harris Ranch, we do beef, just like we've done for over 50 years. Beef that's raised locally right here in California. Tender steaks, awesome burgers, and California classics like tri-tip roast. The flavor you crave, the quality you trust time after delicious time. Come on, it's time to get out and grill. Harris Ranch, we do beef. Legendary beef, legendary quality.
Have you ever hired a commercial painting company, then been stuck managing your own project? Hi, this is Matt Jesse, president of MB Jesse Painting. We know how busy you are and that you need professional painters who are actually professionals. My team has the experience, training, and credentials to get the job done. If you've been waiting for the right time to paint, this is it. Call 855-MB-JESSE today or visit us online at mbjesse.com.
MB Jesse. My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-478-6688. That's 1-800-478-6688. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-478-6688. That's 1-800-478-6688.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Score big with Xfinity Internet. It's made to do anything, so you can do anything. Supercharge your home with the game-changing speed of supersonic Wi-Fi. With 3 times more bandwidth, it covers the field and then some. And blocks billions of threats with advanced security that helps keep you protected at home and on the go. If you're keeping score, that's internet that does it all. That's unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas.
UCSF Sports Medicine Center is dedicated to treating every type of athlete, from kids to adults, amateurs to elite professionals. As one of the best orthopedic programs in the nation, UCSF has programs to optimize an athlete's performance and the latest advancements to treat the most complex sports injuries. With locations throughout the Bay Area, now including Marin, Walnut Creek, and Redwood Shores, it's even easier to make an appointment today. Visit ucsfhealth.org so you can get cleared to play. UCSF Health, redefining possible.
We're all on this planet together, so join Odyssey and find your one thing. After Halloween, your used jack-o'-lantern and other gourds are great additions to any compost pile. Join Odyssey, and together, each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
When people have a craving to explore new and traditional Asian cuisines, they head to P.F. Chang's, where scratch-made dishes come from the 2,000-year-old tradition of wok cooking. P.F. Chang's wanted to explore new possibilities for their website. They turned to AmericanEagle.com. AmericanEagle.com re-architected P.F. Chang's website, integrating multiple third-party systems to create a unified digital experience. The results? Improved page speed and performance, personalized content based on users' location, intuitive online ordering, an increase in organic search visibility, and a 40% increase in new users. For scratch-made Asian cuisine, visit your local P.F. Chang's or go to pfchangs.com for website design, development, digital marketing, and hosting that produce efficiency, revenue, and results. Visit AmericanEagle.com. P.F. Chang's and AmericanEagle.com. Another example of the best businesses in the world, turning to the best in the business for websites. Go to AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW1. That's 877-WEB-NOW1.
Listen to Bonte and Shasky each day this week around 7:30 for your chance to win a $200 gift card to Kirby. Kirby is your driveway mechanic. Brakes, oil changes, car washes, and more. Get all the info on our contest page at 957thegame.com.
This is JP here, and you are listening to the Morning Roast with Bonte and the Butcher on 95.7 The Game.
Yeah. Oh, baby. Good morning to everybody out there on YouTube, Twitch, and the Comcast Business text line for getting off your graveyard shift. I love Kendrick. Good morning to you. If you're at work, good morning to you. If you're getting ready for work, good morning to you. If you're on the roadways, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to Jordan Poole and Draymond Green as well, and the Golden State Warriors. Look, Shasky, before we get right back into it, Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Winterland. Not Wonderland, Winterland. Ooh, Spinoni knows about this. Alice at 97.3 is celebrating the return of Alice in Winterland. It all happens Friday, December 2nd at the SAP Center in San Jose, starring John Mayer in One Republic. Tickets on sale tomorrow, Friday, October 7th, 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster. Draymond Green, Jordan Poole gets into it. We're here with the Warriors say today at practice. We'll see where this goes, but you had your initial thoughts, Shasky. Just another situation with Draymond Green. And how do you think this fan base is feeling about Draymond Green?
I don't know. I think a lot of people are, he's the heart and soul. We don't win anything without Draymond, which is totally factually correct. But you also have to, parlay this forward a little, and you have to understand that, like, moving forward, Jordan Poole, you hope, will be a much bigger part of the organization. Maybe not this year, but certainly next year and the year after that and the year after that. And so there's a delicate balancing act here. I keep going back to the Chris Haynes thing. And the reason why I keep going back to that tweet is because that clearly came from Draymond Green's camp.
Yeah.
Right? Clutch management. When he was talking about the money, I'm thinking, oh, boy, the money. And it's always about the money. Anybody who doesn't think it's not about the money, you're tripping. Now, let's be fair. I could sign a new contract yesterday, and I still want more money. You as well.
Right.
Every single union in America, when they sign a new deal, what is every guy in the job site saying? I'm so glad we got a raise. Boy, I could use some more money. We all want that contract extension. I don't care who you are. Doctor, lawyer, police officer, electrician, garbage man. We all want to make more money. So I think it's naive of us to not acknowledge the money. When I heard the line about him acting a little different, now that the big money is coming his way, I started thinking, like, well, wait a minute. Draymond's got 1 year left. He's got a player option, so essentially
$27 million. Yep.
He wants to get an extension. And he's looking around and he's saying, well, if Poole gets an extension and Wiggins is up for a free agent thing,
Where's that leave
I'm
me?
the guy when the music stops without a chair. And so I go back to this, and I don't know if this is a like-for-like comp here, but I go back to when Hunter Pence got...
Money time!
Sorry, I felt that was appropriate.
No, I love it. When Hunter Pence got cashed out by the Giants, I remember Pablo Sandoval was trying to get a contract extension.
He didn't get his money.
And he was pissed. And I thought that was the most underreported portion of that 2 year span there.
How can people not see that, though? I remember working at another station when that happened. And people, oh, man, Hunter Pence got his extension, and it was in a lost Giants year. They didn't make the playoffs that season. And Pablo's thinking to himself, I put in more work for this organization. I started my career in this organization. I've been loyal to this organization. And they want to use my diet against me for not paying me. And he held that grudge, which is why he went to the Boston Red Sox.
Well, and this is why you hear a lot of people, it's business. It's just business. No, it's always personal. Like, that's the funny thing is everyone knows it's just business. This is just a business thing. No, we're all petty. Like, everything's personal and petty, and you look around and you start counting that guy's money, and you start thinking, well, how does that affect me? Like, every person does this in every job everywhere in America. So is there an element of that? I absolutely believe there's an element of that. Now, think about it. And Steiny tweeted this out, and I didn't even think about it this way. Draymond Green makes about $26 million this year, and then next year his player option would be about $28 million. If he gets the Tyler Hero deal, Jordan Poole in year one would make more than what Draymond Green would be making. Now, is it that cut and dry in terms of the animosity between the two?
Yep.
I don't know. But to think that the money isn't part of this, I think that's naive.
Money may be part of it. Money may be part of it. Now, the other line about, hey, Jordan Poole has been acting different. From everything I've been told in the last 12, 15 hours, Jordan Poole's been acting like Jordan Poole.
Which is what he's been doing before?
Which is what's helped him become a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Jordan Poole's been acting like Jordan Poole. So what if the guy is walking around and he's talking and he's, I want to play this from Draymond Green's podcast because a lot of people are taking this and amplifying what's happening with Jordan Poole.
There's a podcast for everything.
So this was when they arrived back from Tokyo, and Draymond Green was discussing the three-point shootout between Steph Clay and Jordan Poole, and I think it was Moses Moody who was Jordan Poole's teammate. Here's what Draymond had to say about it.
And so shout out to Steph and Clay. That was an absolutely incredible thing to watch. Like Clay said, I absolutely loved watching them humble JP, Jordan Poole, that is. That was fun. And then Jordan Poole tried to take the passive-aggressive route, like, oh, they only the best shooters in the world, but you weren't talking like that before, JP. So that was absolutely good to see.
So that was on his podcast, and I don't think there's nothing there in terms of like, hey, Jordan Poole's talking trash to the Splash Brothers for a friendly three-point shootout. Why not? You're shooting against the best in the world. You know the odds are stacked against you. Jordan Poole's cocky, you watch it, but you got to remember he led the NBA free throw shooting. He may have had more of an impact on the postseason last year than Draymond Green did. Like, if we're just talking about on the floor, how important is Jordan Poole? How important is Draymond Green? Draymond Green's important, but don't let that. Don't just look at Jordan Poole and think he's chopped liver.
Well,
all right, I mean, Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals, Draymond Green was unplayable. Unplayable.
How about Game 3 of the finals?
The first 3 games of the finals, like Game 2, he turned it. You know how Baldy talked about Bosa, the Niners defense being demolition derby. Yeah. They're just running into people. Go look at Draymond Green's Game 2.
Well, how about when he got kicked out on the road against Memphis and was like waving bye-bye to everybody? I mean, nobody. Look, even the biggest Draymond Green supporter will admit there's times you're like, oh boy, Draymond. Oh my God.
Right.
And I just think that moving forward, at some point, this may not be the incident, but at some point, they're going to say the BS is outweighing the production. And I don't think we're there yet, but at some point, the calculation will be there.
I mean, another pelt on the wall. Draymond Green, like, you talk about Kevin Durant and that whole year being hijacked with the Katie and Draymond, the shenanigans. What about the locker room in 2016 when Draymond's going at Steve Kerr? This is 6 years later.
If I say to you, Dennis Rodman, what do you think of in terms of his insubordination or shenanigans?
Dennis Rodman?
Yeah.
I think of a guy who, had a shelf life with every single team. It was a shelf life.
How about Charles Haley?
Shelf life.
Right? I mean, look at the laundry list, the CVS receipt of things this guy has done.
There was
Draymond
just
Green.
an article written about DeMarcus Cousins yesterday. DeMarcus Cousins is begging for another opportunity. But the shelf life of him going from team to team, wearing people thin, yelling at coaches and refs and all that stuff, now he's looking for a job. That's what could happen here with Draymond Green.
Well, and this thing that I'm the guy that's got to humble people, because I see that a lot from people on the internet. JP needed to be humbled. Somebody needs to humble this guy. What? He's not some crazy rookie. He's earned his way onto the team, and he was they don't win the championship last year without him. I think that's an easy statement. Both guys, Draymond and Jordan Poole. And, he's coming into his own. Yeah, and maybe his light shining a little more is putting some shade on Draymond a little. I don't know why he would think that. You're all trying to win another championship. You should all be pulling the rope in the same direction.
Is that leadership, though, displayed by Draymond Green?
To me, does Clay or Steph, do they humble people?
No, that's not leadership to me.
No, you empower.
Punching people and getting mad over trials, that's not leadership. So we'll get to Dorian and Nick on the other side. More on this. 888-957-9570. I really want to know what the fans, because I tried to stay off of Twitter once it reported, because I wanted to hear from the roasters. I see the YouTube chat's blowing up. Comcast Business text line is blowing up. I see you on Twitch. Well, what's Dub Nation think about this as we get ready for another season? October 18th is ring night. What the hell happened at practice yesterday? More of your phone calls. We're going to start taking the calls next segment. 888-957-9570. The roast rolls along. Brought to you by Fremont Bank. Full service banking, no compromises.
The Warriors.
There it is. Welcome back. Step back off the dribble three. Got it.
Coming.
Jammed home by Wiggins.
The only place to hear Golden State Warriors basketball. 95.7. The Game.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately. Like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box. All for $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New gigabit extra internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes wireless usage. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible Xfinity gateway.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same. But at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No. Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Hi, I'm Aaron, owner of California Deluxe Windows. Ever notice? When your neighbors get new windows, there is a large black eye of broken stucco, uneven plaster, and even mismatched paint. At California Deluxe Windows, we never leave a ring around the window. Why? Because we are one of the only companies in California who custom crafts every window and door to your home's exact measurements. Almost everyone else on the radio is a distributor. They grab a window from a warehouse, break open your walls, shove it in, and patch things up. At California California Deluxe Windows, we take pride in our work. Our installation technique is so precise, we do not break your stucco. Your house could be covered with potato chips, and we wouldn't crack one.
Call now, and for a limited time, you get 30% off your entire order and 24 months of interest-free financing. 800-874-3600. 800-874-3600. That's 800-874-3600. California Deluxe Windows. Windows engineered for life.
Certain terms and conditions apply. CSLB number 774518.
Thanks for the coffee. No problem. With my cash rewards card from Navy Federal Credit Union, I get up to 1.75% cash back.
Isn't it 1.5%?
Now it's up to 1.75%.
That's bigger
And better! I bought these scones with my cash back!
I love scones!
Me too! Scones for everyone!
When you sign up for direct deposit, you can earn up to 1.75% cash back with the Cash Rewards Card. Learn more at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
Hey everybody, it's Boomer Esiason here. When a part of your offense isn't firing on all cylinders, it shows. And sometimes the only solution is to replace that part with something new. It's true on a championship team, and it's also true with cars. That's why I love eBay Motors. They have all the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them, by the way. And that way you can get the parts that you need to make your car a winner. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
Do you think all premium fuels are the same? Well, your engine doesn't. Shell V-Power Nitro Plus helps keep your engine running like new because it's engineered to defend against 4 main engine threats: gunk, wear, corrosion, and friction. So next time, choose Shell's most advanced fuel ever. It's fuel for thought. In engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. You know, an oil change with full synthetic oil like Valvoline Advance can help your engine get more miles. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life oil filter for only $36.99. Find your solution for better fuel efficiency today at any of our 6,200 stores or on AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Charging a cell phone can be like getting a booster shot. A booster is given to enhance or restore protection after a primary series vaccination, which wanes over time. Schedule an appointment when you are eligible. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
Breaking news from 95.7 The Game is presented by BetQL.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
Smarter bets start with BetQL. Download the BetQL app or visit BetQL.com today.
This is Steve Kerr, and you're listening to the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game.
What up, Steve? Boy, thought we were going to get into Bosa, Brian Burns. Thought we were going to get into the Giants.
Crank
we
this.
We had to move some people back. Anthony Slater will join us at 8 o'clock to get down to the nitty-gritty.
You don't know.
I know something that you all don't know.
Hey, Nelly had, keep it real. Nelly had hitters. Party hitters.
Party hitters.
You weren't feeling them?
Oh, yeah, party hitters. It took me a while to warm up to Nelly, though.
When he came out in a Pete Rose jersey and he had Larry Hughes featured in the video, I was
mean,
like, that's my dog.
I wasn't like, underlay, EI, uh-oh.
You weren't street sweeping?
I warmed up to him.
For St. Louis.
I warmed up to Nelly.
Come on.
I warmed up to Nelly.
Candy-coated paint?
I warmed up to Nelly. I warmed up to him. That was a down period of hip-hop, though, because that's when you had Nelly and Ja Rule dominating. And think about that.
You know what, though?
They had hitters,
Let me put on for Ja Rule.
Look,
when the Ja Rule J-Lo song comes on, come on, you feel some kind of way.
I love it.
When she's in the velour sweatsuit.
The song is hard. That beat is hard.
Murder.
Where
is Ja? Oh my God, the greatest.
Dude, can I hear that beat, that J-Lo?
Dave Chappelle.
You got that J-Lo and Ja Rule beat? That beat was hard.
After 9/11, that's like the best of all time. After 9/11, when MTV went like radio silent for a day, and then the next day, we're going to get Ja Rule on the line. And Dave Chappelle just nailed it. I need to talk to Ja Rule right now.
I need to talk to Ja Rule.
Where is Ja?
Not gonna lie, living it up was hard.
The first album was so sick. He had a song with Jay-Z and DMX that hit. Look, he knew the formula.
He did.
All right?
Did.
So hate on him all you want. And if you didn't like Ashanti, you're fooling yourself.
Oh, no, I loved Ashanti. I love
eyeball
Ashanti.
emojis, Ashanti.
I love the... By the way, Ashanti and Nelly. Look at the connection.
Look at you.
They're not dating anymore, but they had a good run.
Yeah.
Had a good run.
How many people right now are waking up going, God, Draymond, like I am, like, I want to repeat. Like, what are we doing? Like, I thought we were all getting ready to kumbaya all year. We're just going to load management our way and watch some rookies. And
in case you're waking up and you're away from your computer or your cell phone and you went to bed early, here's what happened yesterday at Warriors practice. They're getting ready for the season. They just got back from Tokyo, Japan. There was a physical altercation at the Warriors practice Wednesday morning that the team had to seriously consider disciplining Draymond Green. When a heated interaction with guard Jordan Poole escalated, Green forcefully struck Poole and needed to be separated swiftly, sources said. Green and Poole came chest to chest, with both players pushing and shoving each other prior to Green's escalation of the physical altercation. The Warriors stopped practice and tried to settle nerves in the team locker room area, but it appears that internal discipline is imminent. Poole and Green are known to regularly get into verbal arguments, but the team's management and leadership believes a line was crossed. Now, everybody was pointing at the video last year when Poole said something back to Draymond Green, and GP2 Steph Curry and JTA had to push back Draymond Green for going at Jordan Poole during the timeout. So here's what I do know. Here's what I do know about Draymond and Jordan Poole is that they do talk a lot. They do talk a lot. And part of it is Draymond Green can be a bully. He can. We all agree that the treatment of James Wiseman during Wiseman's rookie year probably was a bit much. Draymond Green literally got kicked out of the game for cursing out James Wiseman.
Yeah, not a ref.
Not a ref.
Not an opponent.
Not an opponent.
A teammate.
A teammate. He got kicked out of the game.
You know what I'm saying? In an empty arena.
In an empty arena.
Because that was during COVID.
A 19-year-old, you just berate James Wiseman. It's like, the kid's played three college games. He's up. He's up. You don't need to do that.
My favorite is when he throws a pass into no man's land and then screams at the guy who literally made a cut in the other direction like it was his fault.
Dude, I literally watched him throw a pass into triple coverage to James Wiseman and told James Wiseman, I'm guarding you. Keep your head up. It's like, well, there's three dudes right there, Draymond. You can't force a pass. So Jordan Poole is a guy who's not going to take that. He's not going to take that. Guys from Milwaukee, we know that. Tough town. Played with Jaren Jackson Jr. in high school at the prep school where you had nothing but ballers. Then you go to Michigan, you go to a Final Four. Jordan Poole's no punk. But Jordan Poole's a great teammate. You won't hear a bad word about him. If the worst thing is Jordan Poole's a little arrogant, he's a little cocky. Well, he's 23 years old, and he's playing on the best team in the world with Stephen Curry. You don't think Stephen Curry has a little cockiness and arrogance to his game?
Well, I think that there's a difference between being cocky and then we don't know. We don't know what was said on either side. Was there a disrespectful slur, slang, phrase, sentence, group of sentences that was said in one direction or by both parties that triggered this whole thing? That I don't know. And I would like to know. I mean, I don't think we'll ever get the specifics.
We'll talk to Anthony Slater at 8 o'clock, and we'll try to figure out everything we can.
Well, because there's this thing that I'm seeing from a lot of people. Draymond has clout, and Jordan Poole doesn't. And you can't be disrespecting legends. And I don't know. Like, Draymond has a history of, like, getting in, disrespecting everyone.
Right.
So for everybody to jump onto this side of Jordan Poole's the one who disrespected Draymond, we don't know.
We don't know that.
I don't know how anyone could do that calculus without being there.
Listen, this is what the fans do know. This is what the fans do know. Jordan Poole works his ass off. Jordan Poole has done a hell of a job to get himself in this position to go get paid. And when you look at Tyler Hero getting that 4-year, $120 million deal that can turn into $130 with all the incentives, who would you rather have, Tyler Hero or Jordan Poole?
I would probably rather have Jordan Poole because I'm biased. Tyler Hero showed more in his rookie year, but he's taken some steps back, and he's a big defensive liability, nor do I think he's the playmaker in the half court. Tyler Hero is a shot hunter. I don't think he can set up. I thought Jordan Poole's setting up of the offense was significantly better than what I've seen from Tyler. You know I watched the Heat. It's my team.
Yeah, I love Miami too.
That's my East
Tyler
team.
Hero was unplayable against the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yes.
The best thing that happened to Miami was maybe Tyler Hero having to take a couple games off because he was hurt. He was unplayable. I know I could play Jordan Poole against the Celtics. He figured it out, and he got better as the series progressed. Forget about Jordan Poole's Game 5.
His defense is suspect, though. Let's be fair.
Tyler Hero, too.
No, I agree with you. JP is a slightly better defender than Tyler Hero. Both are below average defenders.
Yeah, but that's to be expected for young players. You're not going to come into the league and just be great defensively. But at the end of the day, in the NBA, you got to go get buckets.
Yeah, I agree.
And Jordan Poole goes out there and gets buckets. All right? He gets to the free throw line. He creates for others. Think about that second unit this year with JP, Wiseman, Clay, Kuminga, Moody, maybe some JaMychal Green, maybe some DiVincenzo. Jordan Poole's a baller. You don't find guards like that every single. How many guards can play off the ball in this league? You can probably count on two hands.
I mean, let's look up at Sacramento. I always use Sacramento. They've taken 3 guards in a row. I know Halliburton's got traded off.
Right.
How many of those guys are better than Jordan Poole right now? Are you taking Fox over Poole?
No.
I don't know.
Probably not.
It's a good question.
Fox doesn't create for others. He's a good player.
I mean, he got a $170 million deal.
He's a good player.
I'm just giving you an idea, right?
He's
They
a good
took
player.
Spider Mitchell. He feels like a defensive specialist.
Right.
I don't think he's an offensive player. Halliburton, I like him. I don't know if he'll ever have the range anywhere near what Jordan Poole has. So
Right.
that's my point. Is like everyone says it's so easy to find guards. Is it?
It's not.
Is it?
It's not. Not
How
winning
many guards
guards.
have the Orlando Magic drafted?
Yeah, over and over. They're already talking about trading Cole Anthony.
Right?
Markelle Fultz.
So I don't know. I think Jordan Poole's an infinitely skilled player, but that doesn't mean that he maybe wasn't wrong in this situation. I go back to the same thing.
Draymond's a bully.
When's enough?
Draymond's a bully, and that's not. If you're a team leader, and this happened, and apparently it did happen because Draymond Green was apologetic and emotional. The bully's got to stop. You can't be hitting teammates if you want to be a leader. Like, you're a leader of this team, and you're hitting teammates because of a little trash talk. Well, Draymond, you talk trash. Guess what? Jordan Poole talks trash, too. And he talks back. And you know what? For the most part, Jordan Poole is starting to back it up. He's starting to back. The Warriors would not be in that position last year without JP.
What do you think the punishment's going to be from the team?
I don't think he gets suspended for ring night. That's number one. A lot of people was asking.
I hope not. I hope not.
They're not going to do that.
That could be.
They're not going to do that.
That could be something that would linger. Well, but
maybe there's a heavy fine.
Well, here's where I get a little worried. Remember what happened when him and Kevin Durant got into it? He got suspended for 1 game, I believe. I think it was 1 game.
Just 1 game.
Kevin Durant was pissed with how it was handled.
There's no doubt about it.
Draymond Green was pissed with how it was handled.
Draymond Green didn't believe he should be suspended for it.
And then multiple years later, they sat down on a podcast and then just crushed management.
Crushed management. You think management was happy about that?
No.
We sat down with Bob Myers at Chase Center. You brought it up, and Bob was like, yeah, we're going to move on from that. Remember Sounds I sat down with this?
By the way, that was the most journalistic moment of my career right there, where I asked a tough question to a guy that I love, and I hope he considers me a friend. And I swear to God, I cringed while asking it, and I'm thinking, somewhere, Ray Ratto's got to give me my wings.
Hey, you know what? I was very impressed. And it's a question.
I hate that guy. You didn't think I had it in me.
Well, it's a question I probably can't answer. I can't ask at this point. Hey, Bob, you got to be. But his answer said it all. He was not happy about that.
No.
That's a lack of accountability from Draymond Green. You know what I'm saying?
I keep thinking back now to that moment, me asking Bob. And as I'm saying, I'm like, oh, God, he's going to kill me.
Nah, you got to ask the tough questions. He knows what time it is.
No, I know, but that's my point.
But when I'll go back to Zaza Pachulia.
Okay.
He sat down with us that same day. We asked him about that same scenario, and Zaza laughed and said, some people laughed about it. Some people weren't too happy about it.
Yeah.
Well, and that building can't be too happy about this. Who wants this story?
Nobody.
On the top of ESPN, on the top of Fox Sports, on the top of 95.7. You got back from Tokyo, Japan.
Well, I know. Well, and you literally won the championship last year, and you're trying to repeat, right? And you're trying to thread the needle, which very few organizations can do. The future and the present.
But let's not lose sight of the fact the money situation.
It's part of it.
It's part. This contract situation. The Warriors are at a crossroads
and
here.
respect. I think
these are the crossroads.
personal respect
to Jordan
I know.
Poole.
Look, sports is different, and I expect them to have major egos and machismo,
Right.
and they do things that we couldn't do in the workplace. That's normal operating procedures in sports. Like I don't ever try to like for like comparison.
Right.
Are there some comparisons? Of course there are. I go back to the same thing. You do have to have respect for each other, and so this is the question that I keep coming back to. Okay, how are they going to be able to move forward? Can they both move forward? Does everyone agree that both were at fault, or does everyone agree one or the other overstepped the line? Because that could create an issue moving forward.
Well,
you could look at him side-eyed.
Yeah, my questions are, how does Steph feel about this? And what about the youngsters? Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody.
It's not a
James
good look.
Wiseman. What are they thinking right now? Dante DiVincenzo, what is he thinking right now? You know, what is Clay thinking?
Well,
what we saw Andre Iguodala tweet out. Now, he tweeted out on behalf of both Draymond Green and Jordan Poole. And he defended Jordan Poole, which is really cool. But what are the leaders? What does Steph Curry think? And what are the youngsters who look up to Draymond saying, like, man, that's our leader? He may turn on me in the blink of an eye over some trash talk in practice.
Let me ask you this. Do you believe Draymond is the leader of the team?
Steph's the leader.
I agree with you on
Steph's
that.
the leader.
Not that Draymond doesn't
Steph
lead
is
at
the
times.
leader. Steph is the culture. Steph makes everything pop.
Agreed. Not that Draymond doesn't lead at times, but there was always this thing from Warrior fans. He'll figure it out. He won't do dumb things come playoff time, and he always does.
Yeah.
He won't do anything that'll cost us a championship, but he did.
Yeah.
He won't do anything that'll cost us one of the greatest players of all time, but he did.
It did.
You know,
Yeah.
he won't ruin any of the young players. I mean, he's who knows what psychological damage he's done to some of these young guys. You know, at some point, it's like he is who he is. He's never going to change.
I was listening
He's
to.
never going. He's 32. He's never going to change.
I was listening to his podcast, Shasky, last night as we're getting ready for the show.
And this is
he's
an
talking
older podcast.
No, this is the one where he just talked about Jordan Poole in Tokyo. It was a
But
recap
not
of
the
Tokyo.
fight. This is
Not the fight. This is his
released
latest
a couple
one.
days before.
Yeah, this is his
Okay.
latest one. He hasn't released a new podcast yet. We'll all be waiting for that one. Trust me. We'll probably be playing that sound all throughout 95.7 The Game all day long when that podcast gets released. Apparently, he's supposed to do a podcast with Pat Bev soon. So there you go. Yeah, I know, Spinotti. Wow.
The next 58 top 20s in podcasting is theirs.
It's theirs. It's all there.
The next 5 years is Pat Bev's.
It's all there
in the podcasting world.
I
love Pat Bev.
So he was talking about James Wiseman, Draymond Green. He was talking about James Wiseman. And he goes, man, you could just tell he's smarter. He's watching film. But he also said, he was barking out signals on the defensive end. And I don't know if the signals were correct. Hell, I don't even know if he knew what he was barking out. It was almost like a backhanded compliment. Like, he doesn't quite know what he's doing, but he's making the effort. And we like to see that. We like to see the confidence. And it's like, man, just pick up these dudes. You don't have to always go down that road, Draymond. Why? James Wiseman's listening to that. It's like, wait a minute, I do know what I'm barking out. You know what I'm saying? I do know what I'm communicating. Why do you got to do me like that on the podcast? I don't know. It's just little things that Dre does, and it's just like, why?
He's just, this is who he is. I mean, this is, the only way I can describe it, going back to the Chappelle show, he is a habitual line stepper in every facet of life. And then what he's going to do, because, look, I'm one of these people. I do stupid things, and then I have to apologize and walk it back, knowing damn well I very rarely learn from my mistakes, and I continue to repeat the same ones. It's very Shakespearean tragedy set up. Wow. I mean, his Achilles heel right now is this thing that.
So you're basically Draymond Green of 95.7 The Game.
I'm talking about in my personal life. Right. Like there's time. I know what I am. I'm not a perfect person. I make a lot of mistakes. I do a lot of dumb things, and I end up apologizing a lot. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to do that again. And then I do it again. And so. Like, when I see Draymond, I can relate to a lot of the things he does because I think I suffer from a lot of the same inconsistencies. And so it's easy for me to self-diagnose it when someone else is doing it. Right. It's hard for me to fix my own problems.
What happens to Jordan Poole at the extension now?
That's a great question.
Does his owner say, does his agent, Jordan Poole, does his agent say, hey, Bob, we need the Brinks truck. And if we don't get it now, we're going to test free agency, or you're going to have to make a choice. It's either us or Dre. What if, hypothetically, that could happen? The thing about Bob Myers' job right now that's difficult, he has to explore all options. Everything. He has to be ready for everything. What if Jordan Poole's agent does call him and say, hey, you got to pick one? may not happen. It's a hypothetical, but Bob has to be ready for something like that.
It's the NBA. Guys want out all the time.
Right.
James Harden was with the Nets for like 5 seconds.
And then you're going to get all the smoke today about Jordan Poole. He wants to lead a team. He wants his own team. He wants to grow on his own. He's grown within the Golden State Warriors system. He's grown to be a dynamic player.
If he went to another team first, if he went to another team first before coming to the Warriors, I'm not sure he's still in the NBA with a position to make $120 million.
Exactly.
You know, so the other point of this, and I don't know if you saw this this morning on Spadoni's show, if you want the ultimate Xfinity Flex, I'm talking about the Xfinity Flex of the year, Bob Myers would announce that extension today.
Who said that on YouTube?
Somebody said that to Joe Spadoni this morning.
Someone from the 415.
Isn't that
the
good?
Comcast business text line.
It would be the ultimate Xfinity Flex.
I just saw that on YouTube, too.
Oh,
I
did you?
literally saw it like 2 minutes ago on YouTube.
Oh, they must have texted in this morning.
By the way, you are listening to 95.7 The Game. KGMZ, FM, and AC1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game for the best and most up-to-date sports coverage. And do not forget that you can also watch us every single day on our YouTube and Twitch streams. Just log on and search 95.7 The Game. We're giving away a Kirby gift card. $200 at 7:30 to the fifth caller. When you hear this sounder, there it is. We get a Kirby gift card at 7:30. Also, don't forget, listen to the Red and Gold pregame show with Larry Kruger and Lorenzo Neal this Sunday at 11 a.m. as they get you ready for the kickoff between the Niners and the Carolina Panthers. The Red and Gold pregame show presented by Harris Ranch Beef, legendary beef, legendary quality, and Jim Beam Bourbon Whiskey. Taste the world's #1 bourbon. Let's get some calls in here. A lot of calls
What
been
does
waiting
Steph
online.
think?
Hey, well, that's what I keep asking. Dorian and Pinole, what does he think? Dorian and Pinole, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, man, what's going on, guys? I've been listening a long time, man. This is my take. Just give me a moment.
Yep.
We got to take the emotion out of it, man. Okay, as grown men, we're going to argue. We're going to have differences.
For sure.
But once it becomes physical, that's eternal, man. The guy is like a volcano with the lava flowing. And so they need to go ahead and cut these ties, man, because now he's beginning to sour the morale among these
What do you mean by cut
love
these
him.
ties? Are you saying trade him?
I say let him go.
After
Let
the
him go
season?
now, man. We're at the beginning of the season. They can make the adjustments along the way, but they need to just go ahead and cut ties, man. Draymond's mouth is his worst enemy.
That's true.
Wow.
He talked too much. His head has gotten too big, and he's forgotten where he's getting his paycheck. He needs to go ahead and be humbled and let him know that, hey, man, you got to demonstrate the level of respect and maturity for the amount of money that we're paying you. We're not going to let you put your hands on our young fellas like that.
That's a really mature opinion, and I kind of feel him on that.
So are we there yet, Dub Nation? Are you there with Dorian? Is it time to move on from Draymond Green because of this latest incident? Is there anything Draymond can do that can win back some of these fans? Because a lot of people are out on Draymond Green. They've been on him for a while. You remember last summer?
Yeah.
Last summer,
when,
it was
when there was
driving
that
to the
floated
airport.
idea of Ben Simmons trade.
Like how? Hey, let me tell you, that 3-team trade. Thought about that. The Uber ride up to Sacramento. I told Shask, I said, I got something for you tomorrow. Shask is like a kid in a candy store. What? Just wait. And people were calling the show saying we'll drive Draymond Green to the airport for Ben Simmons. Drive him straight to the airport.
That was before they won the championship.
This was before they won the championship.
And he missed 2 months with a back injury.
Right.
That we had no idea how severe it was.
So you got the health issues. You got the back injury. You've got the podcast. You've got the latest incident. Look, Draymond Green's a very important piece to this basketball team. But there are some people there that's ready to just move on from Draymond Green. And could they actually win a championship without Draymond this year?
I think that they're probably in the best position to do that in their entirety of their run, even when they had KD. I think right now they would be in their best position to be able to withstand losing Draymond Green. I still don't think that they would be the favorite without Draymond Green. I think you have to have Draymond Green in the fold to be the favorite. But they're in the mix still as one of the top teams to win a championship. It would be harder. I think it would be hard. I think you got to give respect to Draymond Green and his defense and what he does for this team in terms of facilitating offense.
Let's go to Nick in Berkeley. Nick in Berkeley, he's on the roast. What's happening, Nick?
Hey, good morning, y'all. Hey, Dorian hit it right on the nail on the head, man. And I'm gonna build on what he was saying. Draymond has lost his mind, man. He needs to go for real because you know what? If you want to be a team leader, okay. So The youngster had your goat tied up in the corner, and now you're all frustrated because he told you can't shoot, and he'll bomb you on the court anyways. That's what it was about. Who are you to talk about your teammate shooting skills when you can't even hardly shoot, man? He can shoot better with his eyes closed than you, bro. So, why would you even try to throw him under the bus? Secondly, you're getting paid $350,000 roughly a game. That's like 5 years of what I get paid to work, bro. A game. You're playing a game, and you're disrespecting youngsters. You talk about, your image for your son and everything. The good image, man. It's like trade him now or cut him now. You can cut him now from reach a contract. You could just pay Jordan Poole the $26 million that you was going to pay Draymond, and that's it.
All right.
Who was more important last year in the entirety of the playoffs? I'm asking you, and it's not an either or, but I'm asking you who was more important if we were doing pecking order, Looney or Draymond?
Oh, Kevon Looney.
Because if you'd have asked me that 2 years ago, I'd be like, you're crazy.
Well, think about Game 2 against the Dallas Mavericks.
Looney was unreal.
Looney's third quarter was epic. I mean, his Game 6 against Memphis.
Yes.
The NBA Finals. In Game 4, when the Warriors made their run, they even up that series, and Steph, of course, dropped his 43. Think about who was on the court. Clay, Steph, Wiggins, Poole, Kevon Looney. They had to bench Draymond Green in Game 4. That's how bad it got.
How about what he did in Memphis when he got kicked out of the game and everyone was like, what are you doing? And then he ran around in a circle like he was the Hulk Hogan at the NWO Bash at the Beach. Like he had just went complete heel.
WWE. And they ended up winning that basketball game.
I guess it's WCW.
Yeah, WCW.
If I'm going to do it, I better do it right. My bad.
WCW.
Yeah.
Monday Night Nitro.
Because I'm going to get all the wrestling diehards in here.
Monday Night Nitro. He went full WCW, WWE, whatever you want to call it, WWF. He went full. Think about Game 4. He was unplayable at times. Think about how...
He instead of coming out with beer, he comes out with a microphone. Podcast microphone.
Right. Anthony Slater, 8 o'clock. Anthony Slater, 8 o'clock, the man who broke the story for The Athletic. He's going to join us.
The other thing we don't know. Did he grab him? Did he punch him?
I heard he punched him. I heard he punched him. That's the news I reported. And from what I know, and we're going to know more from Anthony Slater.
That's not good. That's hard to defend.
Let me tell you why this is not good. Because it got reported and it got leaked out. That's why it's not good.
Let's talk. Let's keep talking about it.
All right,
go nowhere.
I
want to ask you questions.
Preston and Nikhil, you're on deck. Anthony Slater, 8 o'clock. Kirby giveaway at 7:30. That's all coming up on the Morning Roast. Brought to you by the Dakota State Warriors. Here's where it happens. Experience the Warriors at Chase Center. Your Warriors 2022-23 season presented by Kaiser Permanente is coming up soon. Get your tickets now at Warriors.com or call 888-GSW-HOOP. Representatives standing by.
Debo Samuel joined Damon and Retto.
There's not another guy in this league that has the mentality and the mindset that I have. Whenever the ball in my hand, we got a lot of great guys with the ball in our hand. Everybody has their own mentality, but my mindset and mentality that I go out there with week in and week out, I think it's just unmatched.
The best 49ers coverage is right here on 95.7 The Game.
Everything, our farm, our stand, our pop-up shop, it really all started when we discovered the benefits of local, raw honey for our family.
And then we decided to turn it into a business.
We were looking for something to help us get up and running.
So we got the Chase Business Complete Banking Account.
It's more than a bank account. It comes with Quick Accept, which lets us take card payments anytime, anywhere in the U.S. using the Chase mobile app. Plus, we get same-day deposits at no extra cost. For us, it's more than honey. It's about sharing a little sweetness with the world.
Get the Chase Business Complete Banking Account with the essentials you need to help get your business going. Learn more at chase.com/business-complete-banking. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Quick Accept is not available in U.S. territories. Enrollment required. Usage subject to approval. Same-day deposits available for payments before 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday to Friday. Fees and rates apply for checking and processing. Limitations and restrictions apply. Participants compensated. Merchant services provided by Payment Tech LLC and WePay Inc. Subsidiaries of J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
There's a reason Comcast Business powers more businesses than any other provider. Actually, there's a few. Comcast Business offers the fastest, reliable network, the peace of mind that comes with Security Edge, helping to protect all your connected devices, and the most reliable 5G mobile network. Want me to keep going? I can. Whether your small business is starting or growing, you need Comcast Business. Technology solutions that put you ahead and give you serious savings. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with fast speeds and advanced security. Together for just $69.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Or find out how to get up to a $650 prepaid card with a qualifying bundle. Limited time offer, restrictions apply. New 50 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. Requires enrollment in EcoBill and AutoPay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Comcast Business Mobile utilizes the network with the most Root Metrics 5G data reliability wins in 1H 2022. Results may vary, not an endorsement.
This is world-renowned handicapper Chris Hodge with TakingVegas.com, and we have a monster free pick for tonight's game between Indianapolis and Denver. It's absolutely free at TakingVegas.com. Just visit TakingVegas.com. We went 7-0 in Week 4, including our top play winner, which was a false favorite on Seattle, winning outright on Sunday. Last Thursday, we won with Cincinnati for free. This past Monday, we won with San Francisco for free. And tonight, Indianapolis and Denver, absolutely free at TakingVegas.com. There are no questions asked. There are no obligations. There is just a free pick winner at TakingVegas.com. Plus, you get a 30-day free trial run, and we will show you how to treat sports wagering as a business and an investment. For tonight's free pick between Indianapolis and Denver, just visit TakingVegas.com. That's TakingVegas.com.
As you know, sports teams plan well ahead of the next season. If you're thinking of remodeling your home, consider the same strategy. Talk with your designer or builder now about your next project. Golden State Window and Door has new inventory coming online. Milgard, Anderson, and Marvin. See Golden State Window and Door's wide variety of accessories at convenient showrooms across the Bay Area or GoldenStateLumber.com. Since 1954. Golden State. When you succeed, we succeed.
Kansas City Steak Company, another AmericanEagle.com success story. Started in 1932 as a family-owned butcher shop, today they're a leading distributor of superior all-American steaks delivered right to your door, ready for the grill and your taste buds. When it came to their website, an average site wouldn't do. They chose AmericanEagle.com to take their website to the next level. With a dramatic increase in competition and a softening market demand, they had two challenges: improve their brand presence and message, and produce a positive return. AmericanEagle.com got to work and executed usability studies and detailed audits of site experience, digital assets, and marketing. The result? An integrated digital marketing and customer experience plan, organic traffic increase of 20%, and a long-term roadmap for success. If you love great steaks, go to KansasCitySteaks.com for website design, development, and online solutions that bring efficiency and results. Visit AmericanEagle.com. If you need a results-driven website, call the team at AmericanEagle.com at 877-WEB-NOW-1. That's 877-WEB-NOW-1.
Listen to Bonte and Shasky each day this week around 7:30 for your chance to win a $200 gift card to Kirby. Kirby is your driveway mechanic. Brakes, oil changes, car washes, and more. Get all the info on our contest page at 957thegame.com.
This is Andre Iguodala, and you are listening to The Morning Roast with Bonte and The Butcher on 95.7 The Game.
You like that?
I do.
You like that? Look at that. So, Shasky, whenever those rejoins happen, it's Steve Kerr, Steph, Iguodala. Shasky smiles from ear to ear. You know what? I'm not mad at you because I do the same damn thing. When it first happened, when we first got those bumpers, like, wait, that's Steph. It never get old.
So I'm on the softball diamond last night, and shout out Rip City. They were playing in the game, I don't know, maybe a game before us or something. And the guy over to the left, he goes, "Hey, man, I was talking to your pops. I thought I heard your voice. I listen every single day." And I forget his name, so I apologize. But he plays for Rip City. And he goes, "Yo, you got to tell Bonte. We're going to play till the jersey gets ripped off us. And yeah, old men get hurt, but I'm going to keep playing because I love to compete." So I wanted you to know that everybody out there that's still playing softball, and people were tagging me in softball photos last night. I seen people at Central Park out in like Burlingame, San Mateo area. I seen people down at in Palo Alto playing. We're all going to play till the jersey gets ripped off. And yeah, we're going to strain our calf running to first. We're going to hurt our heel. We're going to have a wrist injury. All right? We might pull a groin here and there. But we're going to keep playing because athletes compete.
You know what?
Even scrubs like me.
Well, I hope you got benefits. I hope you got a medical plan. I hope you got the chicken to pay for these bills, man. Medical bills are not easy. So you keep playing until the jersey gets ripped off. I'll work out until I can't work out anymore. But in terms of busting my ass down the first baseline, blowing a hammy, for who? For what? For how?
Well, I mean,
I'm going to Ricky Waters here.
It depends on the situation. But anyway, point that where I'm going with this is, man, as you get older, you start to realize your limitations. And you would think as Draymond gets older, okay, that he looks around and he goes, you know, things weren't necessarily a straight line to success for me in the playoffs last year. And there are some youngsters on this team that are coming. There are contracts that are being doled out. I got to read the room here, and I got to, get in where I fit in, as we say, too short.
Think about media day when Monty Poole asked him. Monty Poole asked him about, that contract extension. And Draymond says, "I know I'm not getting extended, which is going to motivate me. I'm healthy. I'm ready to roll." But he knew that he wasn't going to get paid. He's not first in line here. The Warriors have to figure out what to do. And you're at a crossroads. Curry's 34, Draymond's 32, Clay's in his 30s. Wiggins balled out last year. You take Steph Curry away, and Wiggins was your most consistent playoff performer. You could make the argument. No. They're right there.
Wiggins, if we were doing a hierarchy, I want to stop you there.
Right.
There's no question in my mind. Andrew Wiggins was the second most important Warrior besides Steph Curry, and after him, I think Looney's got the next best argument.
Looney's got the next best argument.
He was outstanding. You have to go back and watch, people.
Looney, the game 6 against Memphis, 22 rebound. And I told you I watched that game in the total. And the banging that was going on in the paint.
Yes.
That was big boy basketball.
Yes.
It's grown man hoops. And Wiggins and Looney crashed those boards. So I'm thinking to myself, Wiggins going to be 28. He's in the prime of his career. 26 and 13, game 5. A great finals performance. The Western Conference finals performance, you're not going to stop Luka, but damn, he made life difficult for Luka Doncic.
If you were ranking perimeter defenders in the league, starter perimeter, not like specialists, I'm not starters.
Right.
Andrew Wiggins, top 6?
Top 6 easy.
I mean, and I'm trying to be generous
and
here.
It was criminal he wasn't on the all-NBA defensive team.
Right.
That's how well he guards.
That's what I'm saying.
So do you want to let a guy like that go? A two-way player like that?
No.
I don't know if I want to let him go.
No.
Jordan Poole, who the Warriors took late in the first round.
28th.
28th in the first round. I remember you and Kobe were doing the show that night. Yeah, Kenny Caraway. I was leaving the facility. Listen to that whole damn show on the way back home. And Jordan Poole gets drafted. Guru and I go do the interview at the Racketeer Performance Center, and right away we're like, this guy lights up the room, man. He's a fun kid. Willie had the video. We're talking about waves. We're talking about fashion. Just a very kid. You brought up the word this morning in the first hour, the first segment, first 10 minutes of the show. Eccentric.
Yeah,
Jordan Poole's eccentric. And when I think about it, I was talking to some people yesterday, last night after the story broke. There's Steph, who makes a crowd pop. There's Klay Thompson. And then there's Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole puts Chase Center in a frenzy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the
There's
Poole
a connection
party,
between the fan base and Jordan Poole. When the ball gets into his hand, you could feel the energy shifting.
Feel it. So when the Warriors are going to have to make a decision, and we all know this, Bobby Marks joined it yesterday. We will play the sound. They're going to have to make a decision. Do you really want to waste this time in developing Jordan Poole, having the patience, sending him to the G League, having him come back, performing at a high level? Okay, he was inconsistent at times in the playoffs, there's no doubt. But, man, that scoring punch in the first couple of games against the Nuggets. You see what he did against the Memphis Grizzlies at times. Hell, he had a nice little game 6, even though he didn't shoot the ball well. But his toughness, he ain't no punk. He talks back. He barks. I like that in my young pup.
Fourth quarter of game 4 on the road, he had moments like the kid was a stud.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, okay. All right, thanks, Lubman, for that. You could have put that in the box. It's all good.
Well, so
my thing is, hold on real quick, because I got a little sidetracked here.
I noticed that.
Yeah, Lubman let me know we got a longer break here, so we have to hit the break at 7:56. We have to be out at 7:56, everybody. So don't call me, don't text me. We have to be out at 7:56. Lubman, just put it in the box, man. Let's go. Let's roll, baby. It's a big show.
It's a big show, so let me
I like to shake it up,
Yeah.
Kirby gift card giveaway, 7:30. Kirby gift card giveaway.
Hey, you better be careful, Lubman. I'm going to go back there and I'm going to rough you up.
We're gonna have to halt the show at 8:05. Take a break until 8:35.
That's where I was going with
We're gonna have a little fight
He
here.
needs to get humbled, you know?
Oh, I got that bag coming in, so I'm feeling really good right now.
I'm just saying, doesn't it just seem like it's common sense that if you're going to move forward with the organization, I can't believe I'm saying this about a 4-time champion in Draymond Green. I'm not dismissing anything he's done for this organization, but doesn't it feel like, man, if I had to pick a player to move forward with, if it has to come down to that, his choice is Jordan Poole. You're just not going to find a guy like Jordan Poole like that off the street.
No doubt. Look, what is it? The scales of justice, right? Isn't that like the weight? Isn't that how it works? There's like you got two different things that are like holding each other up here, and one weighs more than the other. This is the ultimate litmus test for talent over tolerance. When does the BS outweigh the impact and how good you are? So right now, if we're just comparing these and you're asking me, Joe, you have to make a decision. You have to, like, regardless. Right now, you have to make a decision. What Draymond Green does versus what Jordan Poole does and can be, and what Looney does and can be, because I think Looney can offset some of the stuff Draymond, not all of the things.
And then James Wiseman.
Exactly.
And then Jonathan Kuminga.
Exactly. To me, it's like... And it's like, Dre, you're the lightest in this one. They're bringing more to the table.
Man.
The scales of justice are tipped in their favor. You got to read the room here, buddy. And you have to be able to get along with people. That's the other thing. And there's a constant theme of insubordination, retaliation, and disgruntlement and picking fights with people. At some point, enough is enough. Now, the question is this. I will ask you, because he got into it with Jordan Poole. Like, he's got to be humbled. He's got to be humbled. He's gotten into it with Kevin Durant, and people still sided with Draymond Green. I was like, no, you side with KD. Now, KD's weird in his own right. Had Draymond done this same thing to Steph Curry, is there even a debate?
No. He's on the next bus out.
And not even that. We would all be saying, like, Draymond, what are you doing?
Right.
Now, I'm not saying that Jordan Poole is Steph Curry, and I understand.
And nobody.
There's levels.
And
to this.
let me stop you for a second, Shasky. Before we move forward, nobody is saying on this show that you should trade Draymond Green. I think short term, there's not going to be any issues. My thing is the long term view.
Well, I think there
when it
will
comes
be
to
issues.
the money, I think it would be a story. I don't know how many issues there will be moving forward.
Bonte, think about
now we're going to have to see how Jordan Poole responds to this.
Every day they're going to be asked about
it. Yeah, no doubt. They're going to be asked about it. And we know Jordan Poole at times can be short with the media. He is, if you ask, he's very locked in with the media. So if you ask him something that's a little weird and he's like, well, why don't you explain that? Jordan Poole's not going to want to talk about this. Kevin Durant didn't want to talk about this. Now, what is Draymond Green going to say? And Steph's going to be asked about it, and Steve Kerr's going to be asked about it. Jordan Poole's representatives will be watching how this plays out. So, can it have short-term ramifications? Absolutely. I don't think it will. I'm looking at the long-term view, but it is interesting, and I'm not saying you're wrong, Shasky. It could have short-term ramifications. It could derail the whole damn thing.
Well, I think at one point you can make the argument Draymond was by far and away the best defender on the team. I don't think that's the case anymore. To me, Wiggins is the best defender on the team right now.
And then you could argue that Looney's post defense may be a little bit better.
People need to go back and watch.
Was Draymond Green's defense did it move the needle that much in the postseason this past year?
No.
Didn't feel like it, did it?
No. He had an impact. I'm not blaming his impact. But I think there was another argument if you watch the totality of the year play out, and I know in the playoffs it was a little back and forth for him. Jordan Poole is the second best offensive player throughout the entire year.
I mean,
you can make that argument, right?
He gets to the free throw line. He creates for others. He gets his own shot. His month of March was dynamic.
I mean, one's an appreciating player, the other one's a depreciating player, and so you also have to just understand, like, you got to get along with people.
No doubt.
You got to get along. This guy's got a laundry list of incidents with the coach, with star players, legends in the game. He's always beefing with somebody. It's like, come on, man.
And Jordan Poole's young. How's he going to respond to this? It's going to be interesting here. Let's get back to the lines, man. Going to get to everybody here. Kirby gift card giveaway in about 90 seconds. Let's go to Shay. Is this College Station, Texas? Watching our YouTube, Shay?
Yep. How are you guys doing this morning?
Good, man. Gig 'em. What's going on with Texas A&M? Big game this week against the Tide.
We suck, man.
Most succinct call ever.
Hey, you beat Lubman's Miami Hurricanes, so you're not that bad. At least you're not them.
Man, Miami, I thought that was a good win, and then the next morning they lost to Middle Tennessee State, so I wasn't impressed.
Call Paul Feinbaum with these college football takes.
No.
What are you
I'm
doing?
asking him. Shay's
doing?
from College Station. I want to hear about Texas A&M. Now, what's your take on the Warriors, Shay?
So I'm a
Jimbo fan.
My favorite team, but the thing is, with the whole Draymond Green situation, I think it's twofold, right? I think Draymond has a history of this. He usually never takes the blame, and there's always something with him. And I think the production has declined offensively. Like, I watched a 2016 Western Conference Finals game. He's just not the same guy.
Agreed.
And he's had issues of this where, he kind of, essentially, he ran KD out of town. And then in the summer, do you remember last summer when he had that interview with KD and they basically just blamed Bob Myers and Steve Kerr for this?
It was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
But my overarching point that I want to come to and see what you guys were thinking is that, I feel like there's three extension players that we've talked about. Wiggins, in my opinion, is the guy that should be taken care of first.
Yes.
We've heard nothing about him.
Yes.
He's had no turmoil. He causes no friction.
Yep.
And the other two in the playoffs, they both have glaring deficiencies where they can be taken off the court. Wiggins is the most consistent.
Agreed.
There's no doubt.
He is tier 1 in terms of importance.
Yep.
And Draymond is tier 2 or 3, depending on how you view him moving forward.
Right. Shay, that's a good call, Shay.
That's
good
a
point.
really good call.
Hey, real quick, Shasta, before that thought, let's give away a Kirby gift card. Let's give it away. Because what? Oh, there's the sounder. Give it to me. Give it one more time. One more time. Oh, Hufanga. It's time to give away that free Kirby gift card. Be the fifth caller right now. 415-951-2386 and win a $200 Kirby gift card. That's right. Caller number 5, call right now. 415-951-2386. Caller number 5, you would get a $200 Kirby gift card. And Kirby, what do they do, Shasky? They come to you.
Yeah, they bring the car wash, oil change, brake replacements, you name it, all to you in your driveway. You got to get your car cleaned. You should do it.
Yeah, they need to holler at me, man. You got the plug. They haven't come see me.
It's like Uber Eats, but they come to your driveway and they fix your car.
Dude, I need all that.
Super simple, super easy.
Wash my car, detail it.
You
I need
can
it all.
play Madden the entire time while watching Baby Chez and double screening on the phone while watching, I don't know, the Eagles game or whatever the hell you do.
I was watching Panthers Cardinals last night. I was getting
or
a little,
Texas A&M, with the other caller.
I watch it all.
Go
By the way,
Jimbo.
Baker Mayfield does not look good.
Hey.
Brian Burns, Jalen Moore, get him help because Brian Burns is coming off that edge like Derek Thomas
who's
Bob
happy?
Miller. Who?
About this Draymond thing?
Who
the
is?
49ers. 'Cause
Why?
We are off their butts right now. They are so happy.
I gave the
So
Niners
happy.
props.
No.
I've giving John Lynch props for the Midwho trade. I've been a good 49er fan this week. They are happy. 49er fans are, oh, thank God, no Jimmy G talk. I haven't even talked about Jimmy G this week.
Don't even bring his name up.
All
All right. Culpability. This is definitely a repeatable thing, and it has been trending this way for a long time when it comes to Draymond Green.
Anthony Slater, 8 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
Anthony Slater, 8
was
o'clock,
there?
who broke the story.
Yeah.
He broke the story.
Culpability is something in life that I've learned to get better at. I'm not where I want to be, and I'm older than Draymond Green. But within my profession, I've learned over the time that when you do something wrong, and you have to own up to it immediately. And I think there's been a repeated history of Draymond Green where he just doesn't ever get it. Like, you got to be more remorseful.
Right.
And for him, it felt like, from my prism, for him to go and run in his management group, Clutch, to run to Chris Haynes, who is a Clutch employee essentially, and for Chris Haynes to put this out that way, that quick.
And let me read the tweet.
That really left me with a sour taste in my mouth.
7:20 p.m. Chris Haynes tweeted, Draymond Green was apologetic in the aftermath of the altercation with Jordan Poole, but there was a buildup stemming from teammates noticing a change in Poole's behavior throughout camp, with the guard on the verge of securing a lucrative extension. So basically what Chris Haynes is implying is that Jordan Poole has come in as a new dude, right? Like, we see this in movies, right? We see it in movies where a guy comes in, he's broke, he's all humble, and then the next year, like I heard a story about Monte Ellis. Rookie year, no tattoos, very quiet from Mississippi.
Yeah, he was 18.
Got some money, came back, his whole body's tattooed, he's all swagged out, whatever. Guy's a youngster. He's trying to find himself. Jordan Poole's still 23 years old. Now, how much has he changed? I saw him at Media Day. The interaction I had with him at Media Day is the same interaction I've always had with Jordan Poole. He's jovial. He's happy. He's fun. He loves basketball. So how different is he acting? We'll ask Anthony Slater at 8 o'clock. These are all the answers we want to know. We'll ask Slater at 8 o'clock about this. I didn't like that. That felt unfair to Jordan Poole, which is why I loved Andre Iguodala coming over the top, basically saying, we're not going to talk about my young bull JP like that. That's BS.
Well, and if there's anybody who's been acting different, it's Draymond Green since, I don't know, you've been slurping LeBron for the last 4 years.
Well, that's another thing. How does Steph Curry feel about this? He's buddy-buddy with LeBron. They just went in on a flag foot. What did they go in on? What was that, Spinoni? What did they go
incredible.
in on?
He's the GOAT. You know, me and Bronny Jr., we're doing things. Every time I listen to his podcast all the time, and it's, LeBron has to be mentioned in everyone.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. But
it's
Andre
the
Iguodala
playbook.
Andre Iguodala tweeted, what we not going to do is talk crazy about my young fella JP. Great character kid. Miss me with all the other BS. Straight from the source. Everybody I've talked to within the Warriors organization. People I've talked to last night, people I've talked to over the years, ever since I started doing the NBC job, Warriors pre- and post-game, ever since we started working together, Shasky, everybody I talked to about Jordan Poole, the guy just loves being in the gym. The guy loves his video games. He loves just doing his thing.
My kind of guy.
My kind of guy.
Well, he is very eccentric. That's the one thing that I think about because I know a lot of young people about his age. You said he's 23?
Pickleball owners, Draymond Green, Kevin Love, and LeBron James.
Are they going to go up against Rick Barry?
Yeah, well, you better hope not. Yeah. Maybe they'll sign Rick Barry.
My boy Dave Perry plays pickleball. I heard it's a very tough sport to play.
It's a fast-growing sport.
To pick that up, yeah. But no, I was getting at like Jordan Poole, like in terms of his demeanor, who he is. I think a lot of people when they would see him or arrogant, cocky, he's in his own world, he's all about himself. I know a lot of people like him. I would file him under artistic and eccentric, and I just think that's who he is. I think he's an introvert at some level, but when the basketball's in his hand, he's a showman. Yep. And I think that basketball is his canvas to express himself, and that's why I consider him more artist than anything else. Yeah. And I think that he's just a young guy who will come off to some people who don't understand the way he conducts himself, like arrogant. Look at he's cocky and look, maybe he's cocky on the court. In terms of his off-court demeanor, I think he's just shy and he likes to dress a certain way. I don't view that as someone like Logan Murdoch.
And he's a kid who's embraced his culture. You see Jordan Poole rocking the A's hat. You see him rocking the Giants hat. You see him rocking the USF jacket, the Letterman jacket at Media Day, right? So NBC Sports Bay Area, they had the social media corner. Yeah. And Jordan Poole goes over there. They had to pick hats, right? Mm-hmm. You know, Giants or A's hat. And some players picked the A's hat, some players picked the Giants hat. Jordan Poole put out both hats. I was like, no, JP, you can't split me out. No. I love all sides of the Bay. And I was like, look at this kid. Embracing the Bay Area. Not to say nobody does on that team, but I thought that was really cool. It's like he's like, yo, I embrace everybody in the Bay. I love this region.
He wears USF coats that are clearly like from eBay or Goodwill or whatever.
The Letterman jacket.
It's ridiculous. And believe me, I've looked for the coat. You can't find it anywhere. Not that USF would ever let me into their campus. But that not being...
You know what? By the way, USF's men's basketball head coach wants to come on a roast. Forgot about that text, Lubman. Got that text earlier in the week.
Don Talk?
Little Don Talk said, hey, man, what's up? Get us on.
Look, you told me not to do this, but I'm going to do this. We're number 1 now. I'm not trying to go down to number 9 talking Dons, okay?
Dude, why would you do that?
I'm teasing.
Why would you say it? Why would you?
I'm teasing.
Come on. You're going to rip the hilltop like that.
You disrespecting Jamari Bouye like that?
He made the damn
Someone's about to have an altercation.
The NCAA tournament. How you going to disrespect Lorian Russell? Ali Thomas.
I knew you were going to go there.
Gerald Walker.
I knew you were going to go there.
Hakeem Ward. How you going to disrespect these guys?
The Dugans?
Dior Lohorn. Berkeley High, the Dugans.
Frankie Ferrari?
Come on.
Shout out neighbor Dave. He's been sending me nothing but USF hype up stuff. Just nonstop.
Yeah, you know what? Take a timeout. I can't believe you would do that.
Not enough.
Preston and San Ramon. Listen to Odyssey. I can't believe this guy. He disrespects the Chronicle 2 weeks ago. Now you ain't a city guy.
We had Todd Golden on.
You're Daily City
he's
now.
He's a Cecilia's guy. Now he's a Floridian. But
yeah, no, you're going to go from number 1 to number 9. Are we number 1?
Am I too cocky?
You are very cocky.
You going to knock me down, Draymond?
I'm not. Listen, as mad as I get sometimes with you, as much as you annoy me, I will never punch you, Joe Shasky. Just know that. I will never throw hands at you. You're my brother. No, tell me, bring up another name around these parts. Maybe I'll lock and load. No, I'm kidding. Preston is San Ramon.
Hey, Preston.
Preston, what's happening?
I love
Listen
you,
to the
Ucsf.
Odyssey app. I can't believe
Hey,
it.
Bonte.
What's up, Preston?
I'll hold Sasky and you punch him. How about that?
Hey, you know what? Hey.
You don't even need to hold me to punch me. I'm an easy target.
Daly City Butch is your name now. What's up, Preston? What's on your mind?
Hey, man, first off, these guys ain't going anywhere, man. They know the system really well.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? This is going to be, like Clay said one time, it's going to be behind us like a ponytail. This is preseason.
That's good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've played ball most of my life, and I'm 33 now. And when you got a young pup, a young dog like JP, who's, he's definitely got game. He's feeling himself.
Mm-hmm.
And you start trying to test the big dog, the big dog's going to have something to say to the young pup.
But was it him testing the big dog, or was it the big dog bullying the little pup?
That's true, and Anthony will confirm that for us later on, I guess.
I can't wait for Slater, 8 o'clock.
Like right
20
now.
minutes.
Yeah.
20 minutes,
Yeah.
Preston.
But hey, MJ swung a curve. Rodman left for Vegas way longer than he said he would. Some of these things are going to happen at times, right? And so, Kerr understands the importance of Draymond. Poole is a Steph Clay disciple. He's a young guy, 23, who knows the system way better. He's going to help these young guys grow even more. These guys are way too important for our success. So this is just a little bump in the road, like you guys said earlier. However, when it comes to contracts and for the team, Draymond's no dummy. He's very, very smart. And one thing I haven't liked is how much he's been hanging out with LeBron.
Yeah.
And he also mentioned before that he would be willing to go play with LeBron for the minimum. So what does that say? That raises red flags in my mind. That if something doesn't go his way in the future, this season's fine.
Yeah.
My worries are about after this season.
Yeah.
What's going to happen with Drake?
That's
At the end of the day, change is going to come, Warrior fans, Dub Nation, and we're going to have to be ready for this change. Something's going to happen that we're not going to like, whether it's Wiggins, Poole, Dre. My opinion, Wiggins and Poole are staying, but Dre's going to have to take less money if he wants to stay, just like Duncan, Parker, and Ginobili had to with Spurs.
Hey,
That's
Preston,
what I got.
really good call. Really good call there, and there was a lot of validity to what he had to say there. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, we're going to be talking about the Warriors chasing the back-to-back, but the contract stuff's going to loom large.
Oh, you think?
I mean, here's what
He
Bobby
already asked for an extension 2 years ahead of time.
I know. And the extension that he got before happened in August, and everybody around these parts are saying, that's interesting, which allowed him to basically say, you know what, I'm a punt on a season in which they won 15 games. And he admitted. Like, that's one thing which is wild about Draymond Green. I love Draymond Green. They don't win 4 championships without him, but damn it, when you go out there and say, I wouldn't even try it hard because I was like, man, we know we're not going to win. I mean, it's just like, wait, leadership?
Well, you could think it. You can't say it.
You can't say it. You just say it like it's nothing.
What?
Like you have a back injury that season, and the next day you're at the title fight with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. It's like Dre.
Yeah, but he's not the only one. I mean, Andre Iguodala missed a game and was
No
at
doubt.
Torrey Pines the
No
next
doubt.
morning. Literally the next morning.
No doubt.
Watching Tiger Woods tee off.
No
And
doubt.
I'm like, Dre, you missed the game the night before.
But here's
Come
what
on, man.
here's what NBA front office insider for ESPN Bobby Marks said yesterday on the roast about Draymond's future with the Golden State Warriors.
We all know the value of Draymond as far as what he brings to this team. Are you giving him an extension based on what he's done in the past, or what the future is going to hold for him? I think that's kind of where teams run into a problem here. So yeah, I mean it's almost like it's a tie, but I think Poole is a priority, but not as probably much as far as figuring out what Wiggins is going to do. And I think certainly, with Draymond, hey, the Lakers are sitting on $35 million in cap space next year. If he becomes a free agent, is he a priority for them? Are they willing to commit long term when LeBron and AD are basically on 1-year deals?
So that's Bobby Marks, and we know it's going to be tough to keep all three. And the Lakers do have cap space, but say if that's a possibility, this hypothetical of Draymond going to the Lakers. LeBron wants 3-point shooters surrounding him. How does Draymond fit with LeBron James?
I don't know what LeBron wants around him. I mean, look at the teams they've been assembling lately.
This team looks like it looks like a disaster.
If that's the case, why did they swoop up Avery Bradley last year?
They're
Russell
desperate.
Westbrook.
Lakers are desperate. We get it. But They're a factor.
It would be funny if Dre did go to the Lakers just for the straight rivalry.
Oh, my gosh.
You want to talk about the booing? But the reality is that Warrior fans think that, like, oh, they're going to stay forever. They're not, like, no, not all three are going to be here forever.
No.
Like, one of them's probably going to have to go, especially if they all want to make, a good chunk of
money.
change and not take a little off top. The one thing that everyone keeps referencing, Tim Duncan started to click down the amount of money that he was getting. Ginobili and Parker at times decided to take a little less. Steph just got paid. What is he making now? $55 million?
Yeah, he's
we
making
all
over
agree.
50.
Like, he got paid less early on because of that ankle injury. I think the $44 million or whatever it was, $11 million a year for 4 straight years. So he's earned the money that he's getting. Clay and Dre cannot be making max contracts on their next deals.
They're not max
They just
players right now.
can't.
They're not max players right now.
So if they think that they are, then one of them's probably going to have to go.
408 Comcast Business Text Line. Sooner or later, Draymond Green will have a Jamal Adams moment where his door code will not work. It's not happening this year. The code will work. He will have access to Chase Hitter. Believe me. That's pretty funny. Bobby in Oakland, listening on the radio. What's up, Bobby? What's happening?
Bobby.
You're on the roast.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Man, Lakers not going to pay Draymond. Man, come on. If if it was like a straight up 25, 30 mil, but you got that luxury tax, you're not going to pay for a grumpy old man who's come in, who got bitched in the playoffs, has spotty performances throughout the year. Yeah, young Draymond, you go ahead and do it, but man, Poole, yeah, he might be brash. I like it, man. I want that from that type of guy, and you can't let that young guy, that young talent lead. So,
right,
man, Draymond knows he's out. So he came in with an edge, and they just battled it out on the court. They're gonna be battling it out all year, and Draymond will probably be with the Lakers next year. That's my thought.
All right, Bobby, good call. Hey, we'll go to Alex in Atlanta in just a second, but I want to know how the scrimmage is going. Who's getting cooked? Was Draymond getting cooked by JP? Was JP getting cooked? What was going on? What led up to all that? What was said? Has this been festering?
And that's the one thing when you're scouring the internet, things pop up and you're like, that doesn't even, is that real? Is that not real? So I don't even want to say some of the things that I've seen over there, but think of what Charles Barkley does in the TNT thing. Maybe somebody said a joke like Charles Barkley will say about Draymond Green, and he takes offense to it, and someone else is thinking it's a funny joke, and really it's not because it's borderline.
Right.
To me, they're probably both at fault on some level. The question is, did one of them cross the line in terms of what's acceptable behavior amongst their peers? Not what we think is fair, what that group of people thinks is fair.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's go to Alex in Atlanta, listening or watching us on YouTube. What's up, Alex? What's going on?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Love the show. Appreciate you guys taking my call this morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I came across thinking about this when I read the headlines yesterday is I'm so glad Andre Iguodala is staying for another year.
Totally.
Because if there's anybody who's able to rein in Draymond Green and his behavior at times, it's consistently been Andre Iguodala. But the way I'm looking at this is this happened a bit when Kevin Durant was with the Warriors, right? Him and Draymond would get into it either on the court or we'd hear about things off the court between the two of them. And the one thing that always fixes internal strife is success, is winning.
No doubt.
If the Warriors can keep on winning, if they repeat as champions this year, despite all of this is all going to get swept under the rug. Now, whether it should be or not is another story, but it's going to happen. I don't think Draymond's going to be here long term. I've always said to myself that if the Warriors had to let one piece go, it would probably be Draymond Green, because I don't know if he fits into other locker room environments the way he's fit in Golden State, because he's built up a rapport here, right? Like people, when he yells at his teammates or gets overly emotional, people expect that out of Draymond.
There's a callous
let it
built
roll
up.
off their backs. Exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
If you send him to the Lakers, let's say, that's not going to fly there. People aren't going to be used to that. They're not going to be comfortable with that right away. So I think ultimately Draymond's going to be willing to take less money to stay in Golden State long term, because he knows that's an environment he can thrive in, an environment where his teammates are going to rally around him.
Right. Hey, great call, Alex. Great call.
Really
Thanks
good
for
call.
listening down to the Dirty Dirty. Very good calls. Very well thought out calls about the situation. And you know what? Draymond Green and everything that's happening here and the Clutch movement. One thing about Clutch is their clients do not take pay cuts. Clutch Sports, Rich Paul, they get their money. They want every single penny.
So you've been working side deals with them?
No, I haven't. I need them as my agents, man. You guys are underpaying me around here. You can pay more to me.
I do
man.
not
You
have
got
an agent.
You got 2 houses, man.
Maybe I should.
I'm in an apartment. Got jean jackets galore. Look at you.
This is from my wife's company.
Oh, stop
Levi's.
it.
It's looking
stop
beautiful.
It. Stop it.
Jean jacket.
I'm not making anything at MVC.
So clutch guys always. I mean,
so clutch guys.
Why do you say that?
Well, just look at the contracts they've all signed. Look at the way Rich Paul and LeBron James operates. They want to get their clients top dollar.
Doesn't every
single
agency-
penny?
doesn't every
absolutely?
agency run that way?
But like for them, they are sticklers.
Okay,
they will hold it for. They don't care what your cap looks like.
Okay,
they are sticklers, man. Like they get everybody paid. LeBron had the whole entire Cleveland Cavaliers getting paid. Iman Shumpert, J.R. Smith, Tristan Thompson got $80 million.
But Bonte, if I'm being fully transparent, I don't mind people wanting to get paid, but also you can't have it all your way. I say this all the time when it comes to real estate. Like you have to compromise on something. You're not getting the 5-bedroom house, the huge front and backyard, the 2-car garage, great Wi-Fi, and you're in the smack dab in the middle of the marina.
But is Draymond worth the money? Is he worth? Like this is another incident. When is enough? No,
but that's my point on him. I'm saying if he wants to get paid maximum money, like for what his slot would be, to me, it's like, well, then you can't. Then you're not going to win here.
Are you paying max money for a guy who scores 8 points a game?
No.
Are you paying max money for a guy? His defense was really good last year at times.
Yes.
But he also got benched in the playoffs.
He had a severe back injury that he later talked about during the summer, saying he's lucky he even came back to play.
Remember what Mama Green told us during the finals? Mama Green told us, y'all don't know what he went through with that back injury.
That's what I'm saying.
You want to invest into that back injury? It ruined Larry Johnson's career.
Yeah, but we're talking about don't sign Carlos Correa because he's got a back injury. He's playing shortstop on grass and dirt. This guy's playing on hardwood.
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
Let's go to Brett, Casino Matrix, listening on the radio. What's up, Brett? You're at the casino early today. You working there?
Bonte, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, Brett?
Well, long time no see, man. You don't come down to see the small people anymore.
Oh, man. You guys haven't invited me down yet. Spadoni used to be down there with me as a promo intern. We missed the wings. We were just talking about that the other day. When you get me back, host us down there. We'll do a show from Casino Matrix down in San Jose.
You know what? I will talk to the big dog. I will make that work.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, I'll miss you guys at Casino Matrix.
Yeah,
right by the airport,
awesome.
right by the Earthquake Stadium. We need to make that happen.
The live read right now on the air for Casino Matrix.
Man. I used to
the invoice will be in the mail.
Dog deep, yes.
What's up, Brett? What's on your mind, man?
What's up, buddy?
No, man. Dre. I love Dre, man. I love his heart. I love his intensity. But he's like a cancer you got to take out, man. He doesn't want to ride off into the sunset. He's got to splash some waves on the way out. And I don't know why he's like that. I wish he'd kind of take a chapter out of Udonis Haslam's book.
Yeah.
Sitting there, kind of like you got your money, you got your rings. Just chill out. But he's got to play with that intensity. But I can't get mad at him for that because that's what makes Draymond Draymond.
Well,
yeah.
I'm with you.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I look at him like a rock
Thanks
star.
for the call,
He's
Brett.
going to go out like a huge rock star. Like all the big rock stars, they got to break a guitar, ruin the hotel room on the way out the door.
This is Draymond is, man.
I've said this for 4 years now. At some point, it is going to be the end for Draymond Green and the Warriors. I don't know if it's this year, next year, the year after that, at some point. Can you sit here with a straight face and tell me, Joe, it's going to be so amicable. Everybody's going to be kumbaya. Now, you could say, Joe, that happens with every athlete and every time. We know. Whenever it's the end with Draymond and the Warriors, I don't know when that's going to be. It's going to probably be ugly.
That's unfortunate.
But that's who he is.
That's unfortunate, man. I hope it doesn't go down like that.
And
also,
we all
I don't
know
want
people
fans
in our lives like that.
Listen, I know we're
people can love him.
I know we're coming down Draymond Green's road, and I know we got Anthony Slater coming up in 8 minutes. We have the injury report coming up in 2. Draymond Green's an all-time warrior.
Of course.
He's an all-time warrior.
23 will never be worn by another player other than Draymond Green.
No doubt. But I'm not going to lie. When this report got broken by Anthony Slater, who, again, will join us in 8 minutes, I just kind of sighed. He broke it at 5:59 p.m. We just got done with dinner. And I just sighed like, oh, again.
That's the biggest. It's like,
again.
It's always something.
And then all the questions start popping in your head. I got about 20 questions on this legal pad. I'm just like, we don't have the answers for. We don't have the, what happened? Why?
Yeah, okay, keep going.
All right, is this act old? What else did I write? What did he say? Who's in the wrong? If you're Poole's agent, do you call Bob and give him an ultimatum? Poole or Dre? We want our money, but you got to move this guy on.
What does Steph
Bob's got to, what does Steph think? Not trading Draymond Green now, but what about long term? Does this alter pool stop process? Does he even want to sign back with the Golden State Warriors? Is he like, you know what, I got to get the hell out of here because of Draymond Green? I mean, does anybody believe Jordan Poole's an egomaniac? I don't. I think that's BS that people are reporting that. It's reckless.
I think
you
it's
don't know who
reckless
Jordan
and
Poole
unfair.
is. It's very unfair. So it's just...
You know, one thing I do know, and you may not have a question, but I have the answer for it. The next Draymond podcast might be the most viewed, downloaded podcast he's ever done.
We're waiting on it. As soon as it gets released. I thought it was out last night.
How about the fake photo I sent you?
Dude,
how good was that?
You sent the fake photo?
Yeah.
And I went, YouTube, Draymond Green podcast, ASAP.
I have to go back to the chat and look at it. I got to find the picture.
I went back
the picture
ASAP,
was so good. The internet's undefeated, by the way. I just want to say that for the record.
No doubt.
Where is it? I got to find it.
All right, while you find it, Walter, Robert, Grant, Jonathan, hang tight. We're going to get to you all, your phone calls. But first, we have Anthony Slater coming up after the injury report.
It's time for the injury report. It really hurts. Brought to you by Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years.
All right, baby. We got a new injury. Morning Roast co-host Joe Shasky has been hobbled this week by a foot injury.
What?
Shasky is said to be dealing with some sort of plantar fasciitis in the pad of his right foot after playing in not one, not two, not three, but 4 softball games on Tuesday. Shasky has consulted multiple specialists to try and remedy the issue. While listed as questionable on the official 95-70 game injury report, Shasky says he plans to play through the pain, is not expected to miss any time in the morning roast this week. How about that?
I'm here today, and I'm playing well, and I played last night, but I will be taking a couple of days off.
Well, we
I'm day to day.
We can tell you're hobbled and you're a little rattled because you're ripping USF and the Chronicle and stuff like that.
Okay.
You know,
USF. I was there helping for the Benedetti Foundation. I actually am trying to do good work with you and the Junior Giants. I'm sorry. USF, I'm sorry. It was a joke, and I apologize.
408 Comcast Business Text Line. Need to bench Shasky on my fantasy team ASAP. How about the 95-70 game fantasy team? Who would be the number one pick here?
I do want to have a softball game at 95-7 the game. Family Day.
Will Rattle be the number one pick? Who'd be the number one pick?
What are we doing?
Guru?
We playing chess?
I don't know. It's just fantasy. I don't know.
I think we should do a Family Feud style game.
We should. That would be fun. The injury report brought to you by Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years. What's coming up on the game? It's sponsored by Fremont Bank, full service banking, no compromises. The one and only 95-70 game insider, Anthony Slater, to break down what happened at practice yesterday. And we'll get back to the calls. A jam-packed 8 o'clock hour coming up on the roast.
The 49ers are back on top of the division.
And Sean McVay has to cross the field and shake the hand of Kyle Shanahan, who has beaten him now 7 straight times in the regular season.
How you feeling, 49er faithful?
What an incredible, furious, fantastic win. I was on the edge of my seat literally the entire time.
This is the Bay Area's sports station, 95.7 The Game.
Brian in Palo Alto promo. All right. Kirby, it's your driveway mechanic. And they bring the shop to you brakes and tire replacements, oil changes, so much more. They just added a Kirby's eco-friendly wash, barely uses any water, and it made my car look brand new. There wasn't even water on the ground. It was incredible. They use biodegradable products that provide the ultimate shine and protection for both the exterior and the interior of my car. And let me tell you, I had dirt everywhere from all those softball games. All in the ease of your driveway. The ultimate convenience, easy booking, transparent pricing, on-time arrival, service in your driveway. No waiting rooms, no coordinating rides, direct access to the mechanic. Friendly and reliable service, no middlemen, and no upsells. Get $50 off your first oil change with the code OIL50. That's OIL50. Check out Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com. Or call 1-866 Kirby 1. Now, I want you to know something. Our friends over at Kirby, they just won the Motor Top 20 Award for innovation. So when we're giving out these $200 giveaways, that's enough for an oil change and an eco-friendly wash. Kirby!
Dr. Trudy Fleer here with the 5G Home Recovery Podcast. Let's discuss a very real existential threat to internet speed. It's a big one. Ready? T-Mobile Home Internet. It lags. Now, what is lag? Lag is a delay in data being transmitted across the internet. For example, you're hitting that hot drop, the parachute cuts out, you've got an unsuspecting bot in your sights, and lag! You were actually eliminated 10 seconds ago. Nobody deserves that. So stop letting T-Mobile home internet ruin everything and switch to Xfinity. Learn more at xfinity.com/TMOFax.
Get an amazing value on Xfinity Internet with unlimited data included. Switch for $55 a month for 2 full years with no annual contract required and no equipment fees for 24 months. Go to Xfinity.com/TMOFax, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store to learn more. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 10/17/22. Restrictions apply. New fast internet and Xfi Complete customers only. Xfi Gateway required. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After 24 months, regular rates apply to all services and devices.
Hi, welcome to the IKEA Fall Savings Event.
Hey, I'm checking off my fall to-do list. I've got apple picking done. Now I need a cozy rug for cider tasting night.
Well, we've got offers on rugs, lighting, and more. And as an IKEA family member, you'll save $20 when you spend $200 or more pre-tax.
Great. Now I actually have to make cider.
Visit us in-store or at IKEA-USA.com/fall savings event to get ready and save. Offer valid 10/7 to 10/10 in the U.S. Discount applied proportionally across items purchased as shown on receipt. See store and IKEA-USA.com/fall savings event for complete terms and restrictions.
Do you think all premium fuels are the same? Well, your engine doesn't. Shell V-Power Nitro Plus helps keep your engine running like new because it's engineered to defend against 4 main engine threats: gunk, wear, corrosion, and friction. So next time, choose Shell's most advanced fuel ever. It's fuel for thought. In engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline.
Have you ever hired a commercial painting company, then been stuck managing your own project? Hi, this is Matt Jesse, president of MB Jesse Painting. We know how busy you are and that you need professional painters who are actually professionals. My team has the experience, training, and credentials to get the job done. If you've been waiting for the right time to paint, this is it. Call 855-MB-JESSE today or visit us online at mbjesse.com.
MB Jesse.
At Harris Ranch, we do beef, just like we've done for over 50 years. Beef that's raised locally right here in California. Tender steaks, awesome burgers, and California classics like tri-tip roast. The flavor you crave, the quality you trust time after delicious time. Come on, it's time to get out and grill. Harris Ranch, we do beef. Legendary beef, legendary quality.
We are all on this planet together, so join Odyssey and find your one thing. After Halloween this year, don't throw out your jack-o'-lantern. Use it to start composting instead. Pumpkins and other gourds are perfect additions to any compost pile. Also, you can add container soil and roots from potted plants that have withered away. And if you have a garden, be sure to add garden waste from cleaning and pruning, like stems, roots, and leaves. Join Odyssey. And together, each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
Hey, I'm Ben Kaspick, host of the Locked On Giants podcast, a daily podcast covering your favorite team. The Giants are all in on analytics, and on this show, we talk about the Giants in a way that's data-driven and rational, but also simple, passionate, and accessible to all. We understand sabermetrics, but we also understand what it's like to play this game. Listen to the Locked On Giants podcast every day on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Anywhere fans go to cheer on their team, there are behind-the-scenes MVPs, ensuring everything is game day ready. We see you, Joe, fixing seats so every fan can enjoy every game. And Allie, who keeps her stadium running smoothly from the moment the first game starts to the last play of the season. At Grainger, you're our MVPs, and we're always here for you, with supplies and solutions for every industry and 24/7 customer support. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Kelley Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering. Instant Cash Offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Just enter your VIN or license plate, answer a few questions about your car's history, and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the its, KBB.com.
Is there a calculator that can't compute in your kitchen drawer?
Recycle it at Staples. A shredder that won't shred under your bed? Or a collection of cables cluttering up your closet? Recycle them now at Staples. With Staples Free Tech Take-Back, we'll recycle your old tech free. Plus, rewards members get $5 back in rewards. So if you have modems, mice, and mobile phones making a mess of your home, recycle them now at Staples. Limit 1 reward per month. Redeemable in-store only. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/recycling for details.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMC FM at HD1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's time to wake up with a nice cup of morning roast.
Oh, yeah.
Featuring Bonte Hill and Joe Shasky.
Hey, well, I'm about that action, boss.
Take it out! This is the morning roast on 95.7 The Game.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. We were expected to talk a little Niners and Panthers. We were expected to recap the Giants season as they finished 81-81 for the first time in franchise history. But no. Plans got derailed because at 5:59 p.m., our boy, 95.7 The Game insider Anthony Slater, tweeted out that Warriors Draymond Green potentially facing internal discipline after altercation with Jordan Poole. According to sources, practice had to be halted. According to this report by Anthony Slater, Marcus Thompson, and Sean Sharadia. So we had the man of the hour on. He's one of our favorites on the roast. He is a roaster, a day one, and he's Appointment Radio. Anthony Slater. Anthony, good morning to you. I text you last night, say, hey, wake up in the morning. I know you're going to have a long night, but we need you on, and we're not talking Dolphins.
Oh, you
we're not
booked
talking.
him?
Oh yeah, he had to get Slater on. It's our guy. I wanted to talk Cleveland Guardians with him. I wanted to talk Dolphins with them.
Oklahoma State,
undefeated, beating Baylor last week, right, Slater? Am I right about that?
First of all, this is a great time for all of my sports. Also, 81-81 for the Giants. I didn't know that. Ooh, that has to hurt even more.
Please don't. I don't need that in my life.
We checked out late August, dog. we checked out his football season and basketball season.
Yes, we'll be back in right field next year.
We're not bringing that up. Your report. All right, let's start here. Let's start here because this is juicy. We had to take the full 20 minutes, 25 minutes with you here. All right, what happened? Explain to the masses what happened.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, all the details are still trying to be sussed out, and the availabilities that are at least scheduled for today, or at least previously were scheduled for today, should bring some, more detail. But I guess practice opens yesterday. It's kind of a solemn mood in the gym. Jordan Poole is in the gym. He's on the other side of the hoop by himself, shooting some, doing an individual workout. A couple other guys around the gym. The leaders of the Andre Iguodala, Steph Curry, I saw Bob Myers over there on the other side of the gym, Steve Kerr. They were kind of circled a little bit and were more curious about our presence as reporters in general. So I thought that was interesting. And then, obviously word kind of starts to filter out to us really a few hours after practice that something had gone down. I don't know exactly what precipitated the argument, as we put in the story, Jordan Poole and Draymond Green getting into it is not new. Draymond and a lot of guys getting into it's not new, especially in a practice setting. They were going live yesterday.
So it was 5-on-5?
It was a controlled 5-on-5. They're actually scheduled for a big scrimmage today, but it was, I don't know the exact setting that this happened. I just know that this happened. And yeah, they got chest to chest during an argument, and Draymond punched Jordan Poole, and that became the big issue that really the organization still right now is trying to sift through the aftermath of.
So it was a punch.
Yeah, look, that's what it's kind of been described to me as. I don't punch to the face area, swift hit. Yes. To answer your question.
Huh. And were there teammates in between them, or you said they were chest to chest?
They had to separate them.
They had to separate them.
And practice stopped for how long? How long did you? About 30 minutes, 45? What was that like? And then what happened after practice? I saw Jordan Poole working out afterwards. What was that like? What was the time between where Steve Kerr stopped practice? How long was that?
I don't know exactly. I mean, it seems like that's when practice kind of ended for the day, and they kind of. You guys have been in that. Gym where there's kind of the weight room area. It seemed like the action kind of was pulled over there, and then discussions were taking place. And again, this is something that they weren't exactly trying to have, to the outside world. At some point it's going to have to come out, obviously, especially with a disciplinary action likely to come. But it was, like I said, you didn't know what happened, but it was like, this is not, like the music wasn't blaring. There wasn't like the typical vibe in the practice area. And you're like, something seems like it might have happened today.
Okay, so for all the years that you've been covering basketball at the NBA level, which is a long, long time, you are one of the deep-rooted guys when it comes to covering this team and just the NBA in general. How many actual physical altercations have you either heard of or seen at practices?
Oh, a few. And, it's funny. Sometimes you hear about them after the season. Like, man, we had a few things this season. I heard one in the aftermath that was like the early Durant years. That's kind of, probably more than we all know across the league. But, the one thing I will say about this one is it's coming with a level of internal discipline. It sounds like that it can't be hidden. It crossed the line is basically what we've been getting messaged out from inside the team. It's like a line was crossed to the point that something needs to happen.
So we have 95.7 The Game insider Anthony Slater on with this Warriors beat writer, best in the business. So what would that discipline look like? Are we talking regular season games, preseason games, fat fine? What do you think that discipline will look like for Draymond Green?
That is still kind of to be determined. It's pretty clear the leadership spent last night, probably spending today, kind of sifting through that. What is the proper punishment? What I would say suspension's on the table, but that certainly hasn't been decided. Steve Kerr's supposed to talk post-practice today. That should be an interesting availability. I don't know if Bob Myers is going to talk today or not. I'm trying to remember back to when they suspended him for the Draymond for the Kevin Durant situation in LA. I believe it was a pregame, and I think Bob talked before.
Yeah, pregame he talked.
He did.
Pregame he talked it in.
Live at 95.7 The Game.
He talked pregame, and then I remember Kevin Durant, of course, afterwards walked into the podium, and that was very, very interesting as well. So we'll see if Bob talks. Is Draymond going to talk? Or I guess that next pod we'll just have to wait for that, huh?
Yeah, that's kind of. It's something I'm obviously curious about. Is just like his messaging, his. What is his next availability? And is it in front of the media? Is it, on one of his podcast, platforms? And is it an accepting, like, I shouldn't have done that type of vibe? Or is it, a little bit defiant in this situation? And that in some ways may define where the season, at least the early portion of the season, is going just internally, is Draymond's response.
Yeah, and I was going to ask, you were talking about how things get out. We've seen certain reports, and again, I don't want to rip anyone's credibility. I'm asking you, when you hear that, hey, Jordan Poole's changed, he's different now because this extension is looming, and, he's a different person coming in this year. Have you noticed that?
Jordan Poole, you guys know Jordan Poole. Like, Jordan Poole came into the building arguing with people.
Right.
Came into the building thinking he was worth $100 million when he was shooting, 20% from three as a rookie. So, has he grown in confidence? Certainly. Part of that is because he's a fourth-year player that scores 20 a game super efficiently and just won an NBA title. I think what's under the surface of this all, and we haven't really discussed this yet. And again, I don't know if this was I don't know what was at the heart of the exact argument, but under the surface of what's going on right now is the contract situation. This is what we've been writing, going back to the summer, which is the fact that there's a collision course going on, and there's a front office and ownership that is basically pretty publicly, stated like there's a line, a luxury tax line that they can't go over, and then you just do simple math, which, trust me, all these guys, representatives, understand the math and understand the Warriors, ethos that they're not going to go over this tax line, and understand somebody's got to go, essentially, or people got to take less money. Like, everybody's money is colliding with everybody else's money right now.
Right.
That's a good way of putting it.
And the eras are kind of staring each other down in a sense. They've been able to hold it together well. The Win Now, Develop Now plan that we talked about all last year, it worked. They won a title. They still kind of were developing the youth. But money's on the line now. I have no inclination that's exactly what they were arguing about, but that is certainly sitting under the surface of this preseason. You wondered if it was going to boil over. They had been good with their messaging. I thought Draymond was good on media day, basically saying, look, I don't think I'm going to get anything. Poole kind of shoved it to the side, but then this happens, and you can say that it's been good for a week, but it's only been a week, and then this happens.
Anthony Slater, 95.7 The Game Insider here on The Roast. What do you think Steph thinks right now? Like, to me, that's the $1 million question. It's impossible for you to know. But he's the leader of this team. I know everybody says, Draymond Green's a heart and soul, but Steph is the guy. Steph is the guy that makes this thing go. He's the face of the franchise. I just wonder how Steph feels about this, seeing a leader in Draymond Green resort to socking Jordan Poole in the face, or however, punching him, whatever you want to say. How do you think Steph feels about this, Anthony?
I mean, a level of frustration, I'm sure. Just the fact that, he's kind of got to be the good leader again. I mean, he was part of whatever you want to call it, the leadership council that I saw, kind of circled in the locker room area when we got into the practice yesterday. I'm pretty sure he was probably making plenty of phone calls last night and figuring it out this morning. I mean, he's the one. Remember when Draymond happened? He had to go to, I believe he went to both of their houses.
Yeah, I remember.
He was hurt at the time.
He was hurt.
That's why he missed the Clipper game.
But I remember he went to Draymond's house. I don't remember him going to KD's house, but I know you would know more than me. You're there.
Sides of that. Okay. I know he was on both sides of trying to pull that back together.
Gotcha.
And I know he's going to be on both sides of however offense needs to be mended here. Whatever, he's trying to help in that aftermath as much as possible, and he's trying to get ready for a season. He's staring at his team thinking they're probably the favorites. I mean, it was slight favorites, but this has the chance again to be a title team, and I'm sure was not trying to deal with this a week into camp.
Piggybacking off that Draymond Kevin Durant situation, clearly when the organization disciplined Draymond, both Kevin Durant, Draymond, and who knows who else felt that the front office, the organization, didn't do right by anyone in that situation. How do they keep that from happening again, or is that just inevitable that Draymond's going to be frustrated no matter what if he gets disciplined?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's part of what they're figuring out today. These are not simple things. This is why front offices are important. This is why they make a ton of money. They need to solve these contract situations, but also put out fires that happen within a season. This is also why they are fortunate to have a Steph Curry on the team and Andre Iguodala still in the building to basically serve as intermediaries, figure out what the locker room believes is appropriate action, what they believe, and also have, I'm sure, Steph and Andre being able to talk to Draymond in a situation like this, but there's probably not an easy answer. But they're going to have to give an answer at some point, and the timeline is sped up because, basically we know something has happened and they're supposed to talk to the media later today. So, and at some point, questions will have to be answered.
You referenced the money colliding, whether it's Jordan Poole, Draymond Green, etc. Where's Wiggins and his impending free agency? How does that factor into all of this delicate balancing that they're doing right now?
I mean, it's within there. I mean, he for the right price wants an extension also. He's not as, as forward of a personality where, I think he's not going to, come out and, I mean, you guys know Andrew Wiggins, but at the same time, he wants something to get done, and if it doesn't get done, I think there's a risk of losing him long term. It's just he doesn't feel like he's Draymond is one of the flag bearers of the Legends era essentially, and Jordan Poole is kind of the flag bearer of the next era, and that seems like it's a little bit more of a collision course than Wiggins, who, he's unrestricted, but he just got here a couple of years ago, and Andrew Wiggins has had 2 quotes in his life that
But don't you think Wiggins is more important than both, at least for the immediate future, than both Draymond and Jordan Poole?
Not necessarily. I mean, I think I think Wiggins' situation is that they're okay going to unrestricted free agency. You got Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga coming up behind him. He's also just like, again, if we're talking about I think one of the main things right now is trying to guide this season through smoothly while dealing with the contract situations. And while Wiggins, future contract might be equally important, or, you could argue just because of the position he plays, it's more important. He isn't as, you can easily guide this season through with Wiggins in a more unsettled spot than the other two, it seems.
No doubt. Anthony Slater, our 95.7 The Game insider here on the Morning Roast. We brought up the fact that there's reports out there that Poole has been acting different, and, he wants to get paid, and he's some sort of egomaniac. Like you said, he's come in from day one arguing, talking trash, but the guy's a worker. And it feels like he does love this culture. Even when the talk about him coming off the bench and starting, whether or not he was unhappy, that was all put aside in the postseason. Now, I remember Jordan Poole saying after a game, the most important thing I've learned with this organization is winning. So where do you stand with Jordan Poole when it comes to that? Obviously, he wants to get paid, but this perception of Jordan Poole not being a team guy and not wanting to come off the bench, isn't that a little fluff? Isn't that a little hot, just some smoke created by whoever wants to run with some sort of narrative?
It's I guess the natural way of looking at just like the progression of a player. I've referenced the Poole situation being somewhat similar to the Reggie Jackson situation that I covered in Oklahoma City when he had this great third-year playoffs and then, came back the fourth year and was like, look, I'm ready to start. He even said in media day, Hall of Fame players don't come off the bench, and that's how I view myself. And I'm not like Jordan.
Did Reggie say that?
Had a quote. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Jordan Poole has never had a quote like that.
Right.
Look, do you think he wants to be a 26-year-old that's a backup guard? He has ambitions in this league, and ambitions that I think have become very reasonable considering what he's become. And, he's handled it well to this point, but he's also, I think these guys see what he's becoming in a good way. But like you saw it, I thought it was interesting in Japan when Clay wins the three-point contest, and they clearly were really excited. Like he went right to Jordan Poole afterwards because Jordan Poole had been talking a little junk beforehand, and then even said in the media session, like, man, it was great to humble Jordan Poole. There's a little of that. Now, it's felt very healthy. It's felt like healthy competition, healthy situation where there's so much talent. Like that's typically, it's not a bad thing to just be, pumping out talent. But this happens when you pump out talent. There's increased competition within a team for jobs. I mean, it's a cutthroat world. It really is. Yeah. But again, I'm not sitting here saying he's changed behavior or something like that. Jordan Poole's just been Jordan Poole to me the whole time. He's kind of been like this the whole time.
Right.
You referenced the Leadership Council on the Warriors a couple of times now. Who's a part of that in terms of players or coaches? I don't know, how you break that down. And how does Draymond get checked by someone higher than him or someone that he respects and will at least listen to? Because it feels like at times he's checking everybody and really nobody's checking him.
I mean, he listens to Steph Curry. He listens to Andre Iguodala. Bob Myers has long had a good communicative relationship. This is where Bob Myers is like probably at his best from a GM perspective, is like dealing with this type of stuff. So we'll see. Again, like I do not know how the conversations went last night or they're going this morning. But typically, I mean, look, they've gone through this over the years. This wasn't just one Durant situation. Remember the Steve Kerr situation in Oklahoma City?
Right. Yeah, the locker room at halftime, 2016. The Steph Curry double bang shot. Yeah, I'm not a robot. Right. And he went crazy. Lisa Salters. Yeah, no doubt. There's a lot of incidents here with Draymond. It's starting to add up.
Yeah, but, again, if it's handled well enough internally where they believe they can move forward and then they're, 7-1 after 8 games, I'm sure they'll all be like, oh, it was great, like, locker room type, kept it alive. We deal with that stuff. We'll see. I don't know. I do think today's availabilities matter. I think the early messaging from this is going to matter.
Slater, as we look into the situation, you talk about all the contracts and who's going to get paid, and you have the young guys in Kuminga and Moody and Wiseman. You get Steph Curry, who's 34. What happens with Clay in a couple years? Who knows? Is this the last dance? Does it have a last dance feel to this Warriors roster going into the season?
We'll see. I mean, that was always kind of like, as you looked at the contract situations and the tax bill, you kind of wondered that. I wouldn't say that's for sure, but this is, and if it is, this would be like, if they made a documentary, this would be like one of those early camp things. Remember when you were watching The Last Dance and they're talking about like Pippen in camp?
Mm-hmm.
Like this would be similar probably to the Draymond Durant situation, how that was kind of retold in that final season. But, one thing I have learned is to never say the Warriors dynasty's dead.
Nah, no doubt.
I thought it was dead in 19. So.
What do you think if there is some sort of a punishment or whatever? I don't even know. Like I'm not even sure what to expect here. Do you think there's a punishment, and if so, what would it look like?
Yeah, again, I'm being discussed internally right now. I mean, certainly, there's fines levied all the time, by teams, at their employees, I guess. I mentioned suspension. I have I do not know if that's something that they would put on the table and decide upon, but it's got to be decided quickly. I just know that there has been discussion of some type of something needs to happen for the incident that took place. We'll see what that is. I mean, to me, all I can think of is fine and suspension because that's just typically like the two avenues of punishment in sports.
Right. And you're not going to suspend them for ring night again. I
want to win back-to-back.
Yeah, it's not going to. It's just so this is probably going to be a thing all season long, Anthony. We're going to look at every interaction between JP and Draymond Green the rest of the season. On the floor, on the bench.
And we'll go backwards.
We'll go backwards. We'll be talking about it. Hopefully it doesn't hijack the season. But, boy, things just got really interesting down in Warriors land. Can't wait to hear them. Yeah, go Guardians.
We'll be pulling for you.
Yeah, and go Dolphins until December 4th. It's till December 4th. Yeah, there it is. Hopefully you got some good tickets for that Dolphins game. We'll all meet up and say hi and hang out there.
Teddy Bridgewater.
There it is. Anthony, you're the man.
Hey,
I know you had a late night,
Anthony.
man.
And sorry we peppered you, like you were on trial. I appreciate it. You're the one with the most knowledge, and we respect it. So thank you for coming on, man.
All right, fellas. Appreciate it.
All right, Anthony Slater, our 95.7 Game Insider. We're going to get to the calls on the other side.
Totally
we got to run.
in.
Your reaction to what Slater had to say. What should be listeners, roasters, what should be the punishment for Draymond Green? What should be the punishment? What's appropriate for Draymond Green to be suspended? Is it 2 games, 3 games? What's the fine? 50,000, 25,000?
That's a great question.
I wish we had 2 more hours of the show. Shaska's 38:25. We got to run in a second. That's what's coming up on the game. Sponsored by Save Mart and Lucky California.
At Lucky California, every day is full of fresh possibilities everywhere you look at a price that will always fit your budget. This week, red or green grapes are just $1.49 per pound. Shop all of the fantastic weekly deals at Lucky California. Come see what's fresh.
Debo Samuel joined Damon and Reto.
There's not another guy in this league that has the mentality and the mindset that I have whenever the ball in my hand. We got a lot of great guys with the ball in our hand. Everybody has their own mentality. But my mindset and mentality that I go out there with week in and week out, I think it's just unmatched.
The best 49ers coverage is right here on 95.7 The Game.
Kirby is your driveway mechanic. They bring the shop to you with brake replacements, oil changes, washes, and so much more. Get $50 off your first oil change with code OIL50 at Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com and use code OIL50.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately. Like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box. All for $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New Gigabit Extra internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes wireless usage. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible Xfinity gateway.
This is your time to cash in at Cash Creek Casino Resort. To rock and to roll. Over the hills and bluffs. Go all out or go all in. With 4 stars and rising stars. Now we do more than ever, so you can do as much or as little as you want. It's your time to cash in at Cash Creek Casino Resort.
Hi, welcome to the IKEA Fall Savings Event.
Hey, I'm checking off my fall to-do list. I've got apple picking done. Now I need a cozy rug for cider tasting night.
Well, we've got offers on rugs, lighting, and more. And as an IKEA family member, you'll save $20 when you spend $200 or more pre-tax.
Great. Now I actually have to make cider.
Visit us in-store or at IKEA-USA.com/fall savings event to get ready and save. Offer valid 10/7 to 10/10 in the U.S. Discount applied proportionally across items purchased as shown on receipt. See store and IKEA-USA.com/fall savings event for complete terms and restrictions.
Everything, our farm, our stand, our pop-up shop, it really all started when we discovered the benefits of local, raw honey for our family.
And then we decided to turn it into a business.
We were looking for something to help us get up and running.
So we got the Chase Business Complete Banking Account.
It's more than a bank account. It comes with Ucsf, which lets us take card payments anytime, anywhere in the U.S. using the Chase mobile app. Plus, we get same-day deposits at no extra cost. For us, it's more than honey. It's about sharing a little sweetness with the world.
Get the Chase Business Complete Banking Account with the essentials you need to help get your business going. Learn more at chase.com/business-complete-banking. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Quick Accept is not available in U.S. territories. Enrollment required. Usage subject to approval. Same-day deposits available for payments before 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday to Friday. Fees and rates apply for checking and processing. Limitations and restrictions apply. Participants compensated. Merchant services provided by Payment Tech LLC and WePay Inc. Subsidiaries of J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
At the UPS Store, we know this upcoming holiday is when things can get busy for small business owners.
Exactly. My to-do list and I don't take days off.
That's why you can count on us to be open and ready to help with every small business need, whether it's packing and shipping or if it's just to check your mailbox.
That's almost everything on my to-do list. My list and I can take the day off.
Your local, the everything to help you be unstoppable store. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable. The UPS Store locations are independently owned. Product services, pricing, and hours may vary. See Center for details.
Do you think all premium fuels are the same? Well, your engine doesn't. Shell V-Power Nitro Plus helps keep your engine running like new because it's engineered to defend against 4 main engine threats: gunk, wear, corrosion, and friction. So next time, choose Shell's most advanced fuel ever. It's fuel for thought. In engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline.
If you're a professional builder or designer, here's some good news from Golden State Lumber. Their relationships with Capital Lumber, Cal Cascade, Humboldt Sawmill, and others have led to an increase in lumber inventory. Golden State strives to deliver most materials the next day, if not the same day. Be sure to download the Golden State app, which provides access to hundreds of resources. Find it at goldenstatelumber.com. For 3 generations, Golden State. When you succeed, we succeed.
In Hayward, we're looking for 77 degrees and partly cloudy skies.
Weather brought to you by one thing. Don't buy plastic toys for your pet. Instead, look for natural materials like cotton, rope, wood, or bamboo. Join Odyssey, and together, each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow.
Score big with Xfinity Internet. It's made to do anything, so you can do anything. Supercharge your home with the game-changing speed of supersonic Wi-Fi. With 3 times more bandwidth, it covers the field and then some. And blocks billions of threats with advanced security that helps keep you protected at home and on the go. If you're keeping score, that's internet that does it all. That's unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas.
Listen to Bonte and Shasky each day this week around 7:30 for your chance to win a $200 gift card to Kirby. Kirby is your driveway mechanic. Brakes, oil changes, car washes, and more. Get all the info on our contest page at 957thegame.com.
Now, back to the Morning Roast with Bonte and Shasky.
Oh, prime time.
Must be the money.
This video was great.
He had the taco meat.
This is a great video.
The leather
great single.
Jodeci vest.
And he had the curl. Had the S curl with the flat top and the gold.
Jackson State.
Man, they're rolling right now. Did you see T.O. out there at Jackson State?
No.
Terrell Owens
Was he
down
running
at Jackson
routes?
State.
Does he have a year of eligibility?
Dude, he ran routes against one of their top corners. And T.O.'s out there. And he didn't really get much separation, but he came down with the catch and scored a touchdown.
Yeah, but his whole career he didn't get that much separation. He's just an absolute freak. By the way, in about 15 minutes, Dibbs has some very strong opinions, and I can't wait for him to get in here because it's about to be liquid hot magma.
Oh, boy. I'm worried about that.
Changeover.
I'm worried about that. So, shout out to YouTube. Shout out to Twitch. Shout out to the Comcast Business Text line.
Fidel.
Well, he's in Brooklyn.
I thought the drama followed him.
He's in Brooklyn, baby. He's in Brooklyn.
Kyrie might punch him in the face.
Well, no. Kyrie said they're going to be best friends this year. So he's got Ben Simmons, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving. Gosh, I can't wait for Fidel to come back.
Can we make a pact?
What's that?
When Fidel comes out here, when the Nets come out here, we got to go take him to dinner.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right.
Well, you always do it without me because you like to hang out with the big stars and leave me out of the equation. You guys have dinner all the time.
Nick.
You guys have dinners all the time. No, I don't get those texts. You guys big time me.
New media.
You guys big time me.
Draymond, Fidel.
You guys big time me, man. I heard you guys were eating pizza a couple weeks ago. Man, at least I got SLATER, though. That's my guy. Hung out tough in Toronto, man. We had a good time in Toronto 2019 during the finals. Let's go to Jonathan in the city. Then we'll get to Grant and Gene. Jonathan, listening on the radio. What's up, Jonathan?
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, I'm pretty sure you guys are Soprano fans, right?
Oh, yeah.
You know what happened, man? JP is kind of like Christopher. He got made. You know, he's feeling himself a little bit, and Draymond Green is Paulie Walliams. He's a cruise muscle. He's not going anywhere, guys.
I love Paulie, but Paulie was.
You guys, he's not going anywhere.
And nobody's saying Draymond Green's going to go anywhere, Jonathan.
Can we agree that Paulie was very, very ill in the head?
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, if he was going through my wife's underwear drawer the way he was for Chris's girl, I would have been very disturbed. That might have been the end of Paulie if I was Chris. Yeah. Come on, Joe. You know you feel me on this.
R.I.P. Tony Sirico. Actor for Paulie. Paulie Walnuts all time.
Also, the whole dynamic with him and his ma, that was
strange.
It was very
That's
strange.
why The Sopranos is not the top show for me. Because the last 3 seasons, especially the last 2, for keeping it a buck, but even the last 3.
Yeah, but as you get older,
got weird.
The relationships, I think, hit home more.
It got weird.
You know,
it wasn't
I've
as
had my
consistent.
uncle try to whack me.
It got darker, that's why. Because that's the life of the mob.
Exactly.
Right. But it is. But when you look at Snowfall, when you look at
Snowfall,
The Wire, when you look at Breaking Bad, they were consistent all throughout.
The Wire season 2.
Season 5. No, season 2 was great. Union workers, the ports, you got to be, man, that is a very underrated season. I'll go to my deathbed saying that season 2 of The Wire is underrated.
And we're going to get back into Draymond. I still think The Shield deserves recognition amongst your top shows, even though it was cable television.
Right.
I mean, Vic Mackey, come on, man.
Right.
Come on, all time.
Snowfall has been
incredible.
I'm
with you.
Consistent.
Game of Thrones, not consistent at the end.
Yeah. Breaking Bad, consistent.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad's an all-timer.
Yeah.
That may be the top show of all time, Breaking Bad. I mean, Tuco was in 2 episodes, and he's legendary.
Yeah.
Blue, yellow, green, I don't care. He's just all about that meth life. Sorry, kids. Sorry to bring that up. Please don't look up what meth is. Grant Napa, what's happening? He's listening on the Odyssey app. What's up, Grant?
Hey, fellas. Slightly different take. I think this might be the greatest thing that could happen to Bob Myers. You know, now he's got an excuse to ship Draymond. Draymond is not getting an extension. Think about age, performance, and money, right? We can't expect Steph to perform maybe we can. That guy's Superman, the greatest of all time in the Bay Area, maybe all time. And, in my opinion, anybody under 6'5". That's not my point.
That's a great point.
The Warriors, when they keep winning, they ain't drafting in the top 15. Jordan Poole is not going to be Steph, but you can see that guy 3, 4, 5 years from now scoring 25. Wiggins is staying. Draymond may be smart like a fox. He knows he ain't getting anything, so he pulls something like this. He gets traded. I would trade him tomorrow for an expiring contract. Trade him to whoever. Trade him. Cleveland's pretty good. Trade him somewhere. Trade him to the Lakers. Can you imagine Draymond Green?
So wait a minute, Grant.
Breaking down.
Hold on, Grant. Are you saying that you would trade Draymond Green right now before the season starts?
Right now, I don't care what I get. You're going to get something from somebody. Get that expiring contract. sign those two young guys. I mean, I know Wiggins isn't young. He's in the prime. You are not letting Poole walk. You cannot find another guy. I'm not saying he's going to be Steph. In no way. You're not going to find another young cat that's going to score 25. You can project him to that and then entertain people. They got to fill that Chase Center.
Well, and he can play off ball to Steph too, which is great. And Steph can play off ball to him. I'm with him on that. If you asked me, Joe, that you had to, if you said, Joe, you have to make a decision here because these two can't coexist, I'm with him. I would probably ship Draymond Green out over Jordan Poole. Not because I believe Jordan Poole will have a longer legacy or any of those things. Just moving forward, I feel like I've got younger pieces that can fill the void. Not all of it.
Right.
Because Draymond does things that some people just can't do.
Well, can Kuminga do what he does?
Well, can Looney, Kuminga, and Wiseman
coexist?
Fill that void? Can Moses Moody fill some of that void? Yes, that's what I'm
And then Klay
hoping.
one thing about Klay Thompson on the floor.
Can you move him
at
to
this
3-4?
stage? He can guard in the post.
I know.
His lower body is as strong as anybody's out there. He guards really well in the post.
Yeah.
So can you live without Draymond Green? I'm not ready to do that right now. By the way, shout out to Zeshaun.
I'm with you on that. I don't think they need to do that right now.
You don't need to panic right now. Zeshaun
This is
Khan.
why I'm paying Kerr the big bucks.
Exactly, and Bob Myers. Zeshaun Khan. What up, Bonta and Shasky? Listening to you all the way in Mexico on vacation. Man's on vacation listening to the roast. That's a loyal roaster right there. Shout out to Zeshaun Khan. Let's go to Gene in Oakland. Gene, listening on the radio. What's happening, Gene?
Hey, fellas. So, I've been a long-time Draymond supporter. I'm really disappointed in him punching a teammate. He's not the first one to ever do that, though.
No.
But, I've always been able to... I've always liked Draymond, and I've related to him. I like him not only because of the value to the team, but, because he's basically a good guy, and I can relate to him because... I didn't grow up in Saginaw, but my neighborhood wasn't a whole lot better. I had to fight my way through, bullies and, prove myself constantly. And even at age 76, I still got an edge to me, and I still got a temper, and I still have to manage it, just as he'll probably have to manage it the rest of his life. I think he's gotten better at it, but, he's got to work on it. On the other hand, you look at Jordan Poole. What is he doing that's provoking Draymond to act like this? He has a responsibility too, They need to sit him down and say, hey, look, it's one thing to scream money time at the opposition. That's fun. That's cool. But you're saying or doing something that's going over the line, obviously. So you need to back off too.
I don't know, but you know what, Gene? I don't know what was said.
Yeah,
we don't know what was said.
We can't victim blame, shame, or whatever. We don't even know who the victim or the antagonist, protagonist. We don't know any of those things. I don't. I don't pretend to know. That's why I think this one's so hard.
Right.
And we didn't see it. KD and Draymond, we saw it on the bench live, and we could try to lip read and certain things, and then we saw the whole sequence of events.
Right.
There was so much that was open to the public. This was closed.
Well, Anthony Slater made a good point, though. Beginning of the practice, the leadership council, all in a circle, said it was weird vibe, said the music wasn't playing, said something was on. He picked up on that immediately.
Yeah.
That something had happened.
No
music, exactly. I just said that. No music, nothing. Just something odd about the start of practice or when he walked into the practice room. Because obviously they don't watch the whole practice and shut it down. They're not going to show everybody everything they're doing. So I have an idea of what was said. I'm not going to, I have an idea from what her mouth of what was said. And it's not enough to warrant a punch to the face. All right? It's not enough to warrant a punch to the face.
How about this notion,
that just can't happen.
How about this notion that they can't win without Draymond? Didn't we see them win games? And I think the same can be said for Jordan Poole. But they did win games with Draymond making zero impact. And in fact, the more impact in certain games, again, this is probably for a lot of guys, Jordan Poole included.
Yep.
When Draymond was on the bench against Dallas, that's when the momentum swung back in their favor after Dorian Finney was hitting everything.
Well, game 2, Mavericks are cooking.
Yes.
Draymond's in foul trouble.
Yes.
It is the pivotal game of the series. You go back 1-1 to Dallas, things may be a little different. Now you're talking about a longer series, maybe a 6 or 7 game series. You protect home court in game 2, and they were getting blown out. And Draymond was having an awful game. And if you watch the game back, game 2, Western Conference Finals, everybody after the game said it. Everybody, you could see it. Warrior fans, everybody. The best. You sat next to.
I know.
You sat next to some stars in that game.
Scooter Berry I were sitting there going, Dre's just got to sit tonight.
Dude.
He's just not his
He
night.
picked up that 4th foul or 5th foul in the third quarter. Forget which one it was. And it was the best thing that happened to the Golden State Warriors that game. Looney was huge. When they made their run in game 4.
Incredible.
When they made their run in game 4, the Golden State Warriors, and Steph Curry was cooking. You think about that fourth quarter lineup. Draymond Green was not on the floor.
No.
He damn near was unplayable, and he admitted the crowd got to him. He was rattled. This is your veteran.
Yeah.
This is your veteran. So, could you win the championship without Draymond Green? You needed Draymond Green, but you also needed Jordan Poole. You cannot diminish the value that Jordan Poole brought to that team. Because at the end of the day, Bill Russell said it, right? Moses Moody quoted Bill Russell yesterday at the podium. He was like Bill Russell said, the game is about getting buckets, and you better go get buckets. Jordan Poole gets buckets. We know that. Does Draymond get buckets? We whine about him. Hey, just give us 10, give us 12.
Well, I think that you just look at the trajectory arcs of the two players. One, I think, can do more defensively because he's 23 and he's going to grow into that spot.
Right.
The other one has gotten worse offensively and worse defensively. And
he has a bad
been hurt.
back.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's get back out to the Lions.
But I don't think it's an either-or situation just yet.
No doubt.
We're going
to get all these calls. All these calls. We're going to start with Dustin. We got Mark, Austin, Cruiser, Abe. That's what we'll do, Shasky. Let's take calls until the changeover. Yeah. Let's get the callers in here. Dub Nation, how you feeling about this altercation between Jordan Poole and Draymond Green yesterday at practice? We'll hear from Steve Kerr later today, and more details will come out in the coming days here. Let's go to Dustin in Mountain View, listening on the radio. What's up, Dustin? You're on the roast.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Hey, man, I'm a big fan. I love the radio show, but I just gotta tell you guys about the real when it comes to Draymond Green, man. There's a lot of callers I'm listening to that are bashing him, and I get it, man. But also, if you really know basketball, watch it and watch the game, especially the Warriors games. You know what he's going to bring to our offense, especially throughout when there's times in the playoffs where we had to bench him for whatever reason, but through the regular season, that offense is different when he's on the floor, especially for Steph and Clay and our other guards that get the wide open threes. Not only does he set the screens right, he gets the passes in the right situations, what he brings defensively. I just personally think the offense is completely different when he's on the floor, because there was games that we won when he wasn't in, but hey, there's a lot of games that we lost because he wasn't on the floor also, too.
No doubt.
Yeah, but you also have to make a projection of how healthy he can stay moving forward. Like, that's part of paying someone all that money. You do have to make choices. And when you miss 2 full months with a herniated disc in your back, I caution a little. I pause.
Dr. Narav Panya in the YouTube chat. It's lit right now. Would be interesting to see how Kerr handles this situation after getting punched by Michael Jordan during training camp back in the 90s. A lot of people say Jordan was in the wrong for that. Now, you're not going to trade Michael Jordan. You're not going to cut Michael Jordan, and you're not going to do this. You're not going to do that with Draymond Green. Draymond Green's not going anywhere this season. I don't think he is. Long term, maybe a different story. Short term, I truly believe this blows over and they'll get focused, because what cures all? What makes us forget about it? Winning. Yeah. And as long as the Warriors win, this will be a non-story.
Then let's have the real conversation. Let's say Steph doesn't go nuclear in Game 4. Warriors fall behind. They end up losing the series. You know what the entire offseason narrative would have been? Draymond was unplayable.
Yes.
And it wouldn't have been, Jordan Poole's unplayable, because Jordan Poole's on a suppressed 28 overall pick rookie contract. Draymond Green's on a $27 million contract with a player option. And he wants an extension 2 years out. That's what the narrative would have been during the offseason. Now, they won, and he got the last laugh. But, if we're looking at who was, leading the way on the group project, it wasn't Draymond.
It was Stephen Curry. Let's go to Mark in Walnut Creek, listening on the radio. He's on the roast. What's up, Mark?
Dre's great.
Hey, what's up, man? The thing is, you got to have a Draymond Green. Every NBA championship team has a Draymond Green. They have that guy. They have that enforcer on the team. Whether he's healthy, whether he's getting better, whether he's a Dennis Rodman going out every night, you got to have a Draymond Green. Without Draymond Green, look how many championships they won, and people can say, they lost that one because he kicked the kid or whatever. But at the end of the day, you got to have a Draymond Green. So I don't know, obviously, what happened, but I think things happen in sports where, things get heated, and sometimes the enforcer wants to test guys out there to say, hey, are you going to buck up when, stuff hits the fan, or are you going to be Mr. Softy? Now, I don't know if that's the case, but I just know you got to have a Draymond Green or an enforcer type, and he's been that for the Warriors. And I don't know where the Warriors would be without that type of guy out there night in, night out.
That's totally correct, Mark.
On some level, absolutely agree. But you want to get that enforcer dude to the other team and not internally, right? Like PJ Tucker, for example, brought toughness to Milwaukee, and clearly they already had a lot of toughness to begin with.
Right.
But you don't get any of the infighting and the turmoil. It's not about, is Draymond Green good? We all agree he's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's, does all of the positive things that he do outweigh all the negative things?
Yep.
And right now, when is enough? I don't know. For me, I still probably keep him around.
I want to know what Steph thinks. What does Steph think about this? What does Steph think? What does Moody think? What does Wiggins think? What does Moody and Kuminga think? And James Wiseman?
What do Willard and Dibbs think?
Oh, well, that's coming up in 6 minutes. I kind of have an idea of what they think.
Oh.
But we'll save that for 6 minutes.
Let's
go to Abe and
premonition?
Conquer. Yeah, basically. I kind of seen some tweets. I see some things. Abe and Conquer, listening on the Odyssey app. What's up, Abe? You're on the roast.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good.
Listen, we cannot be condoning Draymond Green punching a teammate in the face. Bobby Portis did this in Chicago a couple years ago and put someone on the IR, broken nose.
He
left
sent them to
league.
Europe.
Yeah, he left
He
the
left
league.
the country.
Yeah, he left the league.
God. What happens is Draymond punches him, and Jordan Poole's now out for 2 months looking for a bag, waiting for a bag. Now he can't play, and now Draymond's sitting there be like, oh, okay, well, sorry. I mean, we cannot condone I don't care what Jordan Poole said. He could be mocking him. He could be talking about his mom, whoever. We have to be 30-something years old, a professional, and say, listen, stop, knock it off, don't do it. You can get chest to chest if you want, look him in the face, but once you put hands on, that's completely different.
Right.
Talk to KD on the bench, and KD said, I'm gone.
Yeah, no
Draymond,
doubt.
I'm not saying Draymond has to go. He has to get his stuff ready. Okay?
Well, I mean, Shasky mentioned it earlier. At this stage of his career, he's not going to change.
No.
He's not going to change. He's Daddy Day Day.
This is who he is.
This is who he is on the floor. He's very emotional. Very emotional. So, and listen, Draymond's a 4-time champ. Don't get it twisted. Draymond Green will be a statue guy. Draymond Green will have his jersey in the rafters. Draymond Green is an all-time warrior.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt.
Absolutely.
But at some point, when is enough enough? What is enough enough? There's been a lot off the floor. The podcast, everything, man. It's the Draymond Green experience. At some point, you wanted to say, hey, I'm tired of experiencing this. Some fans think like that.
We're just tired of being around someone. That's, we've all had those work situations or family life situations where you might love that person or see all the value that they bring. But at the same time, you're like, I've had enough.
One thing I know is
being
that
around you.
One thing I know, Shasky, is that whatever happens, whether it's Poole walking, whether it's Draymond walking, whatever happens, it's going to be a lot of tension. It's going to be a lot of pissed off people. Because Poole has a lot of fans. Dude, Poole makes Chase Center pop. Yeah. The Poole jerseys are out of control. The Poole party?
I'm also convinced there's a segment of Warrior fans that, Draymond could... Well, I'm not even going to say what I'm going to say, but the point being is that they're going to defend Draymond no matter what.
No matter what.
No matter what he does. And I get that because of all the goods and the feel good and everything that he's done for this team. I live by the Belichick, Bill Walsh, Popovich code of, if you want things to sustain, it's not the worst thing in the world to move off someone a year earlier if you have to.
If you have to. Let's go to Paula in Chicago, listening on the Odyssey app. Paula, good morning. What's happening?
Just good. Just listening to you right here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. What's on your mind?
Well, the thing is that I love Draymond. I've always have, and I think I will always love him. But he has to grow. Like, there's an evolution that has to go in his mind, that he's not a rookie. He's not a second-year player to be risking our future. We're talking of a legit chance of going back-to-back. And you're going to mess it up because you're in your emotions?
So
You're
true.
going to mess it up again?
I know. Yeah. It's so true. They should be preparing for a world tour of dominance this year
Paula,
and getting ready for the playoffs.
And I think they will. And I think they will. They will. Paula, but let me ask you this. What should be the punishment for Draymond Green?
The thing is that Draymond, okay, we're talking about a guy that we're relying on his leadership. We're not relying on his average, scoring anymore because he doesn't score. He doesn't shoot. He's an excellent defender, but there are many defenders in the NBA that can do his job. We're relying on his leadership. And the only thing that we're relying on, he's lacking right now. And it happens every now and then. He gets unfocused. He starts doing other stuff and we suffer. Then he gets his stuff together and we win. But he has to kind of like find a way that this is not a pattern, because it is always a pattern in the season. He does something, he loses his focus, we struggle, then he finds his focus back, then we win. And then it all goes back to the same circle. He doesn't have the consistency of being the adult person in the room.
Hey, Paula, great call. Great call. She was fired up all the way in Chicago. Damn. Austin and the Bay, then we'll get the Cruiser, then we'll flex.
Austin,
listening on the radio in the Bay Area.
Take. Let's hear it, baby. Let's go.
Let's go, Austin.
Let's go.
Hey, I'm not trying to bash Draymond, but hey, Draymond got a video on YouTube talking about Jordan Poole where nobody can shut him up. Seems like he can't even do that himself, so he had to jab it in his mouth. Or, I don't know what happened. But other than that, hey, it ain't nothing but a hiccup. Kurt been through this with Jordan. I'm not saying Draymond is Jordan, but this got Steve Kerr written all over it. You go pull him to the side, go pull Jordan to the side, talk about it and be a champion about it.
You know what's funny? The fact that you reference that, there's a meme that's going across the internet. It's Ben Affleck, and he's just like, oh. And he's smoking a cigarette in an alleyway. You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what he's talking about.
That's Steve Kerr, Bob Myers, and Joe Lacob right now.
Last night.
That is a photo, right when their phone got the alert.
Not going to lie.
Maybe they were there at the facility.
Not going to lie. It crossed my mind. I said, man, I should just call Bob. Just call him. Hey, Bob, how you doing? How's the girls doing? All good? Hey, hope you had fun time in Japan.
Shasky needs front row seats for ring night.
For preseason game number 1.
Actually, I'll take nosebleeds. I'll take whatever you can get me in there.
Now, how hot is that preseason game on Sunday between the Lakers?
I'm ready to just for the dap between LeBron and Draymond pregame. Is Draymond going to give him the powder that he uses to clap his hands?
Well, that's what's ticking off Warrior fans. The love for LeBron James. Cruiser to 209, then we'll flex. Cruiser watching on YouTube. What up, Cruiser? Long time no talk. Out there to 209.
Yeah, my brothers, what's going on? Yeah, I'm still with you. Hey, Draymond Green, pains me to say this. I love him. He's been my favorite Warrior ever since he took over for D-League. But, man, I think he's done crossed that line. You can't do that, But you asked a good question. At what point does is it too much? What point is the value no longer worth the headache? And I think we're at that point. You can't do that, Draymond. Everything he did, the podcast, all that stuff drives me crazy. But I suffered it because he was performing. And now it's like he's resorting to these bully tactics, maybe because he's losing that edge and he feels like this is the only thing he has left. Throwing the management under the bus on the podcast with Katie, that's unacceptable. A fine's going to do nothing. You need to give him the ultimatum. Look, don't you ever do this again, or you're out. And you got to suspend him. You got to make an example of him, because if he runs out Poole, that's going to be the next guy. And I would rather, honestly, guys, I hate to say this, I'd rather see that money go to a priority such as keeping Wiggins or even Poole. I think Dre's this is all he has left. And, if we keep him, I hope he makes it work. But like you guys said, we know who he is. I don't expect that to change. And if he's going to keep with that type of mentality, that behavior, you got to go. Thanks.
Great way to end the show. Great way to end the show, Cruiser. Great call. By the way, 209 on the Comcast Business Text line. Hey, Shasky, I thought you paid for your own tickets. You just asked Bob Meyer for tickets. Remember yesterday, he was like, I pay for my own.
Well, if Bob can get me in the door and save me a couple grand because it's the hottest ticket in the history of the NBA,
That's what the press credentials for.
You
told the credentials for.
Paula,
by the way, Paula with a great call from Chicago. She was on fire.
Sometimes when you get, opportunities to get freebies, you got to take them. We got Pilo hats today from Pilo.
Shout out to Pilo.
Yeah, shout out to Pilo.
A clock, too.
And
we're going to hang it up somewhere. Pilo, shout out to Pilo.
I got an NBC shirt from Bonte.
There you go. Free 99 movement.
Yeah, you like
Free 99 movement.
You see
there
this,
it is.
Mark Willard? You see this shirt?
What do you got to wear some Keeg stuff, A's. Look at that. Look at that. As Dibs looks at the computer. By the way, it's time to flex.